You know you're dealing with a serious musician when he names the songs that he has submitted for the podcast theme song.
What's that one named?
That was A Pint of Strings.
Ooh, wow.
What? Gave me goosebumps.
How appropriate.
What was that, like a cello or something?
I always have trouble
so.
identifying instruments in songs. I have a lot of trouble with that.
Yeah, me too.
Strings. Who's the strings?
There's a pint of strings. So it's a podcast. We got Gavin, Bernie, Gus, Barbara, Carrie, and Miles here.
What's up?
This is a dangerous amount of people.
This is too many people. We're going to jettison a couple in a bit.
Justice had to be served.
However, Miles and Carrie were very insistent on coming on the podcast after they got thrown under the bus last week by Brandon.
Yep.
Yeah.
By insistent, you mean we yelled at Twitter.
And on our website.
We went to the people.
Miles made a journal.
So passive-aggressive.
Last week, Brandon said that y'all went to Schlitterbahn.
Yes.
And that essentially you guys abandoned the girls you were on a date with because you didn't want to wait in line.
That's absolutely true. That's 100%.
Yeah, so that's true. We're not debating that at all.
So what are you so upset about?
Okay. Here's the thing. Brandon,
this better get entertaining in a hurry.
Brandon made it sound like we ditched the girls in line, and then
You
afterwards,
just made it sound like that.
No. Brandon's like they ditched the girls, and then they came up to me and they're like, "Oh, why are they mad at us?" That is not what happened.
Yeah.
Okay,
We knew
that date
following
was
it.
destined to fail.
Whose voice was that? Was that you imitating your own voice?
I don't know. That was me imitating Brandon. Brandon has a high, like, nasally voice. He does.
All right, let's step back for a moment. Let's assume that maybe somebody didn't listen to the story last week.
Oh, yeah,
what
right.
did Brandon say, Gus, that happened at Schlitterbahn?
So they went. Those two, pointing at Carrie and Miles, went with a couple of girls. Brandon was there, I believe, with Seb. So Brandon and Seb went and got on one ride, and the two idiots who are here on today got in a line with the girls on another ride. But the line was like an hour and a half long.
As they tend to be at amusement parks.
Rather than wait in the line, they decided to go hang out with Brandon and Seb, and then Miles and Carrie were befuddled as to why the girls were upset with them.
And that is not true.
They left the girls in the other line.
To hold their place in line.
No. We weren't coming back. We had no
left them
intention.
straight
Dude,
up.
Okay, this water park is like 40 minutes, a 40-minute drive away from Austin.
45.
So then you intentionally abandon them with no intent of going back, but then you still had to get in the car and sit with them for 45 minutes to come back home.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, I was just going to go to sleep on the way back. Fuck it.
So what is your version of this story?
Okay.
And what are you upset about? Because
Okay.
you just said that you really did abandon them.
He made it we abandoned them, but that's not what we're upset about. We knew exactly that we were throwing ourselves under the bus with this move, okay?
Yeah.
From the beginning, we could tell this was not going to be a good date, okay? First off, we didn't want to go to Schlitterbahn. Brandon's the one with like a boner for Schlitterbahn, and
He went like 6 times that
He
summer.
really does have a boner for Schlitterbahn.
Yes.
It's
Can we talk
all
about that
he
for a
can talk
second?
about.
Well, in Brandon's defense, we did in Austin last year have 76 days over 100 degrees.
That is
Yes.
true.
And Schlitterbahn is a water park.
yes,
Awesome
and,
water
Sure.
park.
And just so you guys know where this is heading, there was a comic that was made about this day. This was the day where we were fed up with the summer heat and the drought and all the shit. So we decided to go to Schlitterbahn, and then of course that's the day where it just fucking poured, and just this crazy thunderstorm came through and ruined everything.
I don't remember raining ever last summer, but okay.
Oh,
This is the one day.
We do.
That one day.
Okay,
One
so
fucking day.
Was the cloud right over you guys?
it just appeared, man.
So far, this story is no different to how Brandon told us.
You won't let us go forward.
Not at all different.
I am really regretting bringing you guys on the podcast.
Okay, so check this out.
I'm really liking it.
So from the start, it was kind of like, we show up, and the girls are having a good time, but they're kind of like doing like their own thing, like they're best friends, they're having fun. And we kind of knew when we got to a ride it was one of those slides where you get like a double tube, like two people go in a tube. We knew things weren't going to go well when we got to the top, and the girls were like, I'm scared to go down. No, hold on, let me go with you. Let's go together. We'll have a girl tube. Yeah, we'll go as girl team. Yay! And they rode down the slide and left Carrie and I to ride down the slide together.
Who was in the front and who was in the back? That was my question.
Carrie was in the
It
back.
sounds like
Yeah.
you're dating gay guys who have a show on Bravo or something.
Oh my god. She's so cute.
So when you say the date was it sounds like the girls weren't that into you. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, we weren't going to say it that way.
Yeah, that's just.
You got to put a positive spin on it.
Those are your words.
Their vision was perfect, unfortunately.
So was it like an actual date, like where you had like a girl each, or was it just 2 girls and 2 guys who were just hanging out?
No, it was an actual date that just also happened to include like Jack and Brandon and Seb.
I see where things are going wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get to the top of this one line, and the girls went down in a double tube together.
It was 2 girls, 1 tube.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was,
I
Gavin.
knew that
Yes.
was coming.
And so from there, we were like, that's not a good sign.
This is not going to end well.
First ride? Was that the first ride?
This is the first ride, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's off, things aren't off to a great start.
Did you guys say anything? Did you guys approach to go, hey, no, why don't you ride with me?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Take charge.
We were like, you shouldn't. No, come on, I gotta too. It'll be okay. Okay, so we weren't that good.
So
at
you-
this. Yeah, I'll admit that right now.
Yeah.
So you were really decisive.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like we could have 2, but no.
So from there, things were going well, and then for the rest of the day, they tend to be hanging out together more than they're like hanging out with us.
Yeah.
But things really turned to shit when the thunderstorm came through.
Yeah.
So we were in line for a ride called like the Amazon Jungle or something like that. It was some stupid themed ride where you go through a river, and while you're waiting in line, there's all these like really bad, like Chuck E. Cheese-esque animatronic jungle animals that are supposed to, like get you in the zone, like you're about to go to the Amazon and all this shit.
By the way, Barbara is smiling, giggling like a maniac. She looks like she'd love this.
I'm so excited. I want to go to Slurp on.
So we're in this line. We're
Like 20 minutes into this line. Like, we've already been standing there.
more than 20
forever.
minutes, man. Like we're maybe 20 minutes away from the front of the line.
Are we
Like,
20
we can
minutes?
see the front.
Are we 20 minutes into the story at this point?
You assholes will stop putting in. So we're almost to the front, and that's when the thunderstorm hits. All of a sudden, like clouds came out of nowhere. It just starts raining. It's freezing cold, and Carrie and I are doing our best to shelter the young ladies.
Right, these are cold girls in bikinis.
Yes.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
Terrible.
by shelter
Terrible situation.
We're just trying to get close to them, but they're still like.
So the getting close to the part. This is the part where you leave.
No, not yet. This is the part where this is the part where we realized we were just totally fucked. This wasn't going to happen. So it starts raining, and they shut down the ride. They shut down all the rides in the park, and they make everybody just sit and wait in line
For the storm to pass.
for the storm to pass. They sit us in line, surrounded by these animatronic animals that growl and make noises.
Oh my god.
Here is the best part about this whole situation. So, one of the girls has a phobia of statues, taxidermy, and anything that looks lifelike but isn't, essentially.
Okay.
That's a strangely specific.
It's a very, I don't know what it's
phobia.
called, but it's a, she legitimately has it.
Animatronophobia.
Something like that.
Has she met Joel?
She was very scared. So she is surrounded by her worst fear in the freezing cold rain and 2 loser guys.
Yeah.
And she's panicking and freezing and just hyperventilating and can't deal with the situation. It was just the worst place she could possibly be.
To sum up, we have a girl in a bikini who's cold and afraid.
2 girls in a bikini, one of whom is afraid.
And cold.
Yes.
Here's
go
the
ahead.
problem. She's comforted by her best friend. Her best friend swoops in before we can do anything and is like, no, come here. It's going to be okay. It's fine. And we're
Miles is making a hugging motion. I just want to
Yeah.
point that out.
It
Okay,
sounds
go
like
ahead.
you guys are just too slow. Like the best friend keeps beating you to
Yeah.
everything.
At that
know.
point,
Get in there.
At
She's
that
a
point,
cock block.
I already knew this wasn't going well, so I just thought it was hilarious. Like, this is that I was a bad person because I was just like, "Hey, look over there! Look over there!"
Yeah, Carrie, you made the situation so much worse. You're like, man, that
awesome.
elephant's getting closer. Did that thing just move? Fuck you guys! Don't take your eyes off of them.
Don't blink.
Oh, look, there's Joel.
There was supposed to be like there was a Are you gonna be okay? The worst
Hang my head on the mic.
The worst part was there was one robot that was supposed to be like a safari guide. It was supposed to be a human with like a mustache, but he just looked like a 3rd-degree burn victim, like zombie that they stuffed and hung from strings.
It was fucking terrible.
So did you guys huddle up and say, let's get out of here and go hang out with Brandon and Seb?
That was later.
You guys left at that moment to go hang out
So
with them. That was
no,
terrible.
that was not the moment.
It was, by the end of the day, we were just about to leave. We're like, let's go on one more ride. Jack was like, yeah, let's go. We're going to do this. And everybody's like, okay, sure. So we get in line, and we're waiting, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. And then Brandon and Seb were finally like, fuck this. And they left to go to, it's called the Lazy River.
the Lazy River.
Yeah. So we're standing there in line. We're just waiting. We see them like they go by. They're having fun. They go by. They're having fun.
How come they could go in that if it's raining? How could they go in that?
It was no
This,
longer-
this
this
is
is later.
This is much later. This is the story.
This is Act 2.
This is when
Yeah.
this is the moment that Brandon was talking about.
Yeah.
Everything else was just build up that led us to believe that nothing was going to happen.
Yes. So we're just in line and sad, and just like, and then we see them having a fun, and we're like,
Having a fun.
having a fun.
They were having a fun.
They'd gone around. They'd had 4 funds by the time.
So eventually, we're like, we kind of like looked at each
Yeah,
other.
we just locked eyes and we like in our heads we're just like, bail? Bail.
and
Let's
that
bail.
was it. And we just like
we're
ran
like,
away.
Ladies, if you would excuse us, we're going to go splash in the lazy river.
You didn't-
Have a wonderful day.
You didn't invite them to come with.
Yeah.
We invited them. They're like,
think
no,
so,
we
yeah.
really. I think we were like,
Yeah.
yeah. Look, this. I don't want to stand for 2 hours. Let's just go have fun. And they're like, we really want to ride the ride. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
that's
well, we
terrible.
really don't.
Let me get this straight. She would rather stand in front of her worst nightmare.
No, this was a different. This was a different ride. This was a different ride.
No, I mean, Jack was still there.
Yeah,
Jack was still there.
Sounds like one of my dates.
You know what I just realized? We just left Jack with our 2 dates.
Listen, we give Jack a lot of grief sometimes, but the great thing about Jack is he will do anything at any point in time. Like, you can call Jack like Wednesday at 11:30 p.m. and go, "Hey, you want to get a drink?" He's like, "I was asleep, but okay." Yeah, he'll get up and he'll come.
Unless he's raiding.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
what's his alternative? Sitting at home with his cats? I mean, yeah, I'd get up and go get the drink too.
Did you see that Jack tweeted a photo of his lovely girlfriend?
I did see that.
We should
Do
bring
you
him
see
in.
the response?
Did you see our response?
Yeah, did you see our tweet?
I did. That was actually funny, guys.
Yeah, we should bring him in at
Kids
some
never look
point.
more beautiful.
We should get that picture.
Maybe we should have him talk to you guys about how to have a successful date.
I-
Here, why are we have Jack give dating advice?
Yeah.
What
I don't
has
want
this
that.
world come to?
I don't need that. All right,
This is
we're
the
doing fine.
Bottom of
This
the
is
barrel.
so different.
So Miles and Carrie, after Jack posted a photo of his girlfriend saying, "Instead of doing something, I'll just spend time with my lovely girlfriend." Oh, he was bitter about you beating him at the trials competition,
Yeah,
Gavin.
I won.
And then he guilted you into giving the money away.
Yeah, what the fuck was
What?
that?
Yeah, he publicly goes, "Well, Gavin won, but I was going to give all my winnings to Child's Play. I hope he'll do the same." And it's-
Bullshit.
you read that's like
That's smooth.
So
interesting.
Fucking
The
I
Twitter.
still
Jack-
call shenanigans on
Dude,
that.
he had a fuck you like hidden up his sleeve.
Yeah. So my $100 went to Child's Play, which I'm fine with.
That's a good
You're
cause.
the better man.
Noble.
Jack's money with Child's Play.
Yeah, exactly.
You know he wasn't going to do that. That was like his fallback. Like if I
He was
lose.
so cocky all the way through that contest. He's like, "I've got this." He was ahead of me on like 50 of the tracks. I was ahead on like 3. And then the night before the contest ends, I just ripped him, just beat him on every track I could.
You
He was like,
had
sounds
told me
awesome.
about your plan and this
Yeah.
whole like rope-a-dope thing. I was really concerned that you not playing, you were going to not be as good.
"No, I was awesome."
Let's get Jack in here and we can talk about that because
We'll
we
talk
talked
about
about
that later.
posting. I wonder why he posted his
All right.
girlfriend too.
We'll trade you guys.
Yeah, so he posts his picture of his girlfriend up. Jack does, and then these two, Miles and Carrie, they post the exact same photo, but with Carrie in that pose of his girlfriend, like being sexy. So, once again, you took something with girls and turned it into all dudes. I'm not sure.
You're like, let's find a way to remove us from the girls
It's like the worst superpower ever.
Miles
can't-
Carrie
and
are
abandon
secretly
them
having
in
a
their time of
relationship.
need. But the
can't
time
wait
when
to
we
go.
could comfort them and swoop in, let's just bail.
So, do you want the three of us, Gavin, me, and Gus, to act as judge? Like, do you want us to like pass judgment here and tell you how you did in the situation?
I mean, we know we did a shit job.
Yeah,
but
Okay.
But here's the
Go
thing:
for it.
we had a good time.
we had a great time. Leaving
It
those
sounds
girls,
awesome.
leaving those girls abandoned in line and just going to splash in the lazy river was the best time we had all day.
Yeah.
First of all, shame on you. This is terrible. This is terrible. It sounds to me like what you described is you went somewhere with girls and you did a bunch of dumb stuff that you didn't want to do, but the girls liked it.
What-
And you don't. Have you ever been on a date before?
Was this the first time you had been on a date with these girls?
Yes.
Here's a pro tip. Don't drive 45 miles away to go on a first date. Keep it close.
If anything goes wrong, you want them to get home.
Here's my other tip that I would
I've
give you.
been on a lot of first and only dates.
Did you see him again?
What was that?
Did you see them again?
There's an ironic twist to this story.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, this sounds like this is finally interesting.
God damn it.
Now you have to tell it.
So one of the girls is my current girlfriend.
Wow, you saved it.
Sort of.
Really?
Not exactly.
Not really. He just put a circle of animatronic animals up, and he
still there.
stood away from it.
Can't escape the house now.
Oh god.
So is she the one who's scared of animals? Hey, it's like Shannon McCormick just poked his head in.
I just poked my head in. Hey, everybody.
Shannon, are you coming to
Shannon.
record Washington Lines?
No, I'm in the neighborhood, so I stopped by.
Why don't you come in and say hello and give us your sexy voice on the microphone? Just say
Okay,
hello.
sounds
Hello.
good.
So you can pop in and say hello. So everybody, this is Shannon McCormick, please.
Hey, this is Shannon McCormick making my first appearance on the podcast.
So what are you doing in the neighborhood? What's going on?
I'm doing an interview with a sketch comedian in town, and I just got done, and she's like a couple blocks away. I was like, I'm going to go see what the Rooster Teeth guys are doing.
Do you know this person? By any chance?
Mary Jo Peel. She was one of the original actresses in Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah. I was going
And
to say, I recognize the name.
She lives here in town.
Yeah, she lives like. Well, I'm not going to say where, but
Here's her address.
Well, that's really cool. Is she going to be in one of your shows, hopefully?
She is not, but she's doing some shows currently. And so I did an interview with her to just do a little promo for her.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So Shannon runs one of the biggest improv theater companies in Austin. And also, what's your association with the Salvage Vanguard?
So I'm a company member there, and then Gannap Theater Projects, which I run, is a resident company there. So we rent out the space, or one of the 2 theater spaces there on a regular basis.
I'm happy to finally hear you say it. Because in my head, I was always saying nap.
Yeah, it's Gannap. It's based off of an episode of the Smurfs called the Purple Smurfs, from like about 1982. You want to hear the whole story?
Sure, why not?
So it's one of the most disturbing kids cartoons I've ever seen. A Smurf goes out into the woods, and a really angry butterfly bites him on the tail, and it turns him purple. And makes him really, really mean and aggressive, and all he can say is "Gannap, Gannap, Gannap," and then he bends over and hops around and bites another Smurf on the butt, and then it's a whole plague. It's like a UNESCO
God.
plague.
I've seen it.
It's like an AIDS metaphor or something.
I was going to say a zombie apocalypse, but
It's a
let's go
zombie
with AIDS
apocalypse,
metaphor.
and in fact, everybody is infected. Except for Smurfette, I think she's female. She's
Yeah.
immune. But then Papa Smurf has been making a big batch of some sort of flower antidote, but he turns bad.
Uh-oh.
But a candle is knocked over and it blows up his mushroom with all of the stuff inside of it, and then flower pollen rains upon them and they're returned to normal.
That sounds accurate.
And that is theater.
Gannap.
Gannap.
Watch out for butterflies. Jesus.
Yeah, the really weird part of it is when the Gannap Smurf leaves Smurfette to go float in the lazy river. That's like the really dramatic part of that. These guys are telling a story about how they left their girlfriends in line at an amusement park to go hang out with their buddies. Look at Shannon's face. Look at that face right
I
there.
cannot play.
That says it all. We knew what we were doing.
Wait, but these guys are all bronies, right? Is that
No, that's a common
no,
misconception.
no,
no.
No,
Okay,
that's
okay.
next door. Well, cool. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm just coming to say hey. I'm gonna go give Kath a hug and talk to you guys later.
It's awesome.
Thanks for stopping in.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys mind going in and getting Jack?
Yeah, we'll go grab Jack.
Yeah, get out of here.
Shame
So
on
they're
you.
dating then?
Oh, what?
They're
Oh,
now
Yeah, we
dating.
never finished this
are you-
story.
are you-
We're not getting the
wait.
clear.
Thank you for remembering.
Are you
hate you
dating
so
the
much.
friend, the huggy friend, or are you dating the neurotic one?
I'm thanks. I am dating the lovely girl that happens to be terrified of statues and Texas.
Really?
So
Yeah,
do you, when she comes home, do you pretend to be a statue?
No.
Do you pretend to be a statue in bed?
Is that your strategy, Gavin? Just lie there still. The ladies love it.
You make whirring noises when you move. Like, does she get freaked out if you go to a dance club and people are doing the robot? Does that freak her out big time?
No.
How does she feel about mannequins in like store display
Nope.
windows?
Nope.
She'll
Really?
really say that too. She'll be like, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
We
Good
walked
God.
into a store. She said she's gotten very good at recognizing like mall layouts. Like if you go into like a clothing store or something, she's like, typically the mannequins will be on this side of the door, and there'll be one about here. Like she knows it
Is she more freaked out by mannequins with heads or without heads?
with heads.
With heads.
The
more
more
human they look.
lifelike it looks, the more like if it's just like a torso mannequin or some other creepy mannequin. If it's just parts of a body, then no, not really. But if it's like a
Uncanny
whole
valley
thing,
situation.
Pair of legs.
freaky man.
Wait, so how did you save it then? How did you go from that date to a healthy relationship that you're
Dude.
currently in?
I have no fucking clue. If someone could tell me how I did that, that'd be great.
I want to know how you specifically came up with the word healthy. Describe that. So actually, we know. Can we say?
Yeah,
her
go
name?
for it.
So it's Erin.
Yes.
And
hi, Erin. I know she's listening.
She, if you want to see Erin, she was in our Blip live version of Red vs. Blue that we did, where she played. She came up on stage and played the taco salesman, a bit part in the script.
Oh, that
And
was her.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
my
gave
God.
the most racist. Reedy as a taco salesman ever.
Afterwards,
Cute.
the Master Pancake guys, they were like, "Can you give us?" They're like, "What? Give us your best taco salesman." She goes, "Would you like to buy some tacos?" And like they just made fun of her for it. And afterwards, she comes up to me. She goes, "I thought that's what they wanted."
I see how it is. When you think it's cool, you can go along with it. See how that is.
Well, I'm glad you managed to save it. I think that says a lot. Yeah, I don't know how
I
you
don't know what it
managed.
says, but
So what happened to Huggy Friend? Where's she?
Huggy friend. Sounds like a
fucking
Care
stuff.
Bear.
I don't know.
She moved, didn't she?
She, I think she's going to Los Angeles. I think. To go.
No more Huggy.
Well,
Friend.
people love hugs in Los Angeles. She'll fit right in.
It is funny though. The friend leaves town and suddenly then he manages to salvage the
Yeah,
relationship.
there's no one to cockblock him now.
That friend seemed to be running interference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Everything's so clear.
You
We
guys.
should never have left them in the line.
Nope.
No, you should not
It
have.
was great. It was great.
All right,
Best
beat
decision
it.
ever.
Yeah,
All right, we're out.
Get Jack P. Get him in here.
Goodbye.
My favorite part about that story was when the water park closed down because of water. That was fun.
There's very specific rules. Is it a big thing in the UK? Do people go swimming like at a public pool? Do people do that?
Are there public
Yeah,
pools?
we have pools. Yeah.
And did you grow up going to pools? I
Yeah.
did.
Well,
Did you
they're
grow up?
usually
Yeah, my neighbor had a pool.
there aren't as many outdoor ones as there are here, but
Even I did, and I only have like 1 month of summer.
Jeez,
from where
one
I'm from.
day of summer in Canada.
Yeah.
it's Jack.
What's up, Jack P?
What's
JP.
up, internet?
You know what's really funny is you're wearing the shirt that your girlfriend was wearing when you posted the photo.
Yeah.
Not the same shirt.
I would imagine no, not the same cut.
We
of
just
shirt.
finished talking about that too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We were talking about Miles and Carrie and their great
And how they
Schlitter-
love each other.
and the great Schlitterbahn date
Oh, yeah?
where they abandoned their girls.
Oh, God.
You were there too,
I
apparently.
was there. That
Apparently
was
they abandoned them.
painful, dude. That was painful
Yeah,
to watch.
they told a 4-minute story over the course of about 16
happened-
minutes. it was awesome.
The story took longer than real time.
I was like, what the fuck? Just get to the
that story
point.
was frame by frame.
But the worst part about it was the story was no different than what Brandon said.
I know. It was like,
came
what?
in to defend themselves.
After 16 minutes, I regret bringing them in.
I just think they wanted to defend themselves from seeming like really incompetent dudes who were like didn't realize that they were offending girls.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
No, I mean, no.
No, but they realized they were offending them. I think that was their whole like.
Yeah, they could have said that in
strategy.
15 seconds.
I know.
So they came in to tell them that they were well aware that they were being assholes.
No, I mean they didn't defend
They
themselves in
just
any
didn't want
way.
to seem dumb in that sense.
Except
Just
they
in the
were
other
dumb.
sense.
They were very
Yes, they
dumb.
were.
That worked.
They're idiots.
That definitely worked.
From a girl perspective.
That's a great
So
summary.
dumb.
So Jack, I paid you a compliment.
Oh,
when
yeah?
you were out of the room, I said that you're the one guy I know that like if call you at like 11:30 at night, that you're always up to do whatever.
Yeah.
If you don't have prior plans, you're always like, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever.
Absolutely.
You know?
There's a lot of people here who are like that.
Barbara, you're also like that.
I am also like that. That's
Barbara-
just because I have no other friends.
She recently moved from Canada.
No, but there's a lot of people some people as like they go home and that's it. Like Gus, I don't picture you as a going out ever person.
No. I turn off the lights and I hide.
You went
Yeah.
out with us one time when Jordan and Thalia were in town.
Oh yeah, yeah. That
We
was
went to
my
a
one
Frank-
time for the year.
I
I
bet it
had
was-
to get it in.
I bet it was really fun. Right?
It was awesome.
It's fun.
Gus
It's
and
fun.
Esther are like
Yeah.
really fun. Like New York Comic Con was a blast.
No.
Arm
Stop
wrestled.
spreading these rumors about Gus being fun.
We did arm wrestle. I forgot about that.
No, I'm always up for going out and doing things. Like that's one thing. Like I would rather be out of my house doing pretty much anything than in my house doing nothing.
But it's
that?
good. Most people say that, and then when you call them, like, I'm already in.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. You know. But you, it's like 11:30 at night. You know. Like yeah, the example I use is I'd call you and you wake up like it's 11:30. Hey, you want to go to drink? You're like, well, I was sleeping, but yeah, I'll be right there. I'm coming.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess in that case, you look at the hierarchy of things: sleep or drink.
Yeah.
I mean, drink. It's like rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
Drink beats sleep.
And see, and you drink and then you sleep better. So
But you really don't. You really don't.
well, you pass out quicker.
I gotta be honest. I don't drink all that much. Gavin and I went out last night and had a drink. We went to the Highball.
Hey, thanks for the
Oh,
invite.
nice.
No, we went to go. We had a cool thing that we went to go do. Gavin is now the owner of a suit.
It's true.
Ooh. Oh, so you were testing your suit out
I
last
have a
night?
suit. No, I didn't wear it. It's still in there.
What does that do with the story?
So we went to go get the suit.
Oh, okay.
They sell suits at the Highball?
no.
We went to celebrate the suit at the.
No, they won it with the tickets from the skee ball machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a long story, but there was an animatronic bear in our way, and we got sidetracked. No, we went to. So Gavin and I are going to the Men in Black 3 premiere
Today.
Tonight.
Today. It's true.
Oh, wow! You getting on a plane today?
Yeah,
Wow.
to go to New
Getting on a
York
plane, getting on a plane in negative hours. Or something.
to be there in 4 hours. But and so he needed which were required to wear black and white attire to this, and so
So I figured if I'm going to get a suit for the first time, I want to look like one of the guys from Men in Black. So that's my suit.
Nice.
but
It's
it
gonna
takes
take a lot more than a suit.
You think so?
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video of Will Smith punching the dude
I heard about it. I haven't watched it yet.
who tried to make out with him?
Yeah, some German guy tried to kiss him or something. And he
Russian.
sucked
Yeah, I
his
think it
face.
was Estonian or something.
Oh, okay.
And he just sacked him?
No, it was like the guy comes at him, gives him a hug, and Will Smith's like, "Hey!" And then the guy just goes straight for his mouth, like tries to kiss him right in the mouth.
Oh my
And then
God.
Will Smith shoves him and gives him like a really soppy backhanded like fist to the face.
Soppy
Yeah,
backhand.
it was like,
Soppy.
and then
Sounds like you hit him with a fish or something.
yeah, it's like a really like
Was his hand really wet?
who knows?
think
Who
that's-
knows where that thing's been?
Here's a fun trivia question. Do you remember what Will Smith's last movie was before Men in Black 3?
Let me think about this.
It
Before Men in Black 3,
Yes.
I've got a guess.
man,
You probably won't get it.
Pursuit of Happiness.
No.
That's what I was
Very
gonna guess.
close.
Was that the one that like seven? What was it? Something
7 pounds.
7 pounds. Is
Yes,
that it?
and it apparently wasn't like just panned across the board. And it was like his first major misstep as far as
I saw 7
filmmaking
pounds.
goes. Did you?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
The crazy thing
Did you
was,
see the
if
ending
that's
of the
true,
movie?
I did.
The end of the movie's so
Dude,
bad.
That was. It
I
can't have been
wouldn't
worse than Hancock.
Hancock was
That
terrible.
movie was
And I Am
crazy
Legend?
pile of poo.
I thought
Hancock wasn't bad.
Hancock was fine.
It was
Hancock
terrible.
disappointed.
The end was bad.
Yeah.
But the movie overall was fine.
It was.
It was a
terrible.
cool concept. I like
Nope.
the idea of it.
No.
I was perfectly fine with that movie.
I'm agreeing with Gavin on this
So
one. for the
it
first
looks
time.
like Will Smith took a 4-year hiatus from movies.
Yeah,
I was not aware of that.
7 pounds tanked, and like he got critically panned, and so he kind of stepped away, and he helped the kids or whatever helped Jaden and Willow and like in their career paths. So he like stepped back, helped them out with their stuff, and now he's going to get back into filmmaking. And so he's doing Men in Black 3. Apparently, he's doing iRobot 2.
Yep. Hancock too.
Hancock 2,
Oh,
and
God.
there's even rumor
How
of
is there a
I Am
second
Legend 2.
Hancock?
I mean, so he's just doing sequels.
Basically, he's
to all
doing
of the
sequels
movies.
now.
Well, he's doing Bad Boys 3 is on here as
Yeah.
well.
Bad
Announced.
Boys 3 is already made?
Yeah, that's his
Michael
next
Bay?
movies. He's also
better be.
this is funny. He's also doing a movie. It's a non-sequel, but it's called After Earth. So it sounds like a sequel.
That's
Earth 2.
After Earth is a M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's
Oh,
him.
God.
It's him and his son actually.
So
Him
the
and-
ending will
and-
double suck. Is what you're saying. Will Smith has a bad track record with the endings of movies.
Yeah. So do you know what happens at the end of 7 pounds? Can we spoil this? It's been out. It's been
I
out
think
for
it's been
4
out
years.
for.
I don't even know what that movie's about.
So 7 pounds is a guy who basically he gets in a car accident and he kills his wife and his kid in like a van full of other people. He ends up killing like 7 people. So he decides he's going to donate 7 of his organs to various people. Like he finds good people that need organs, and then at the end of the movie commits suicide and all of his organs get donated. So like Woody Harrelson's in it, Rosario Dawson's in it, and the way he kills himself is he gets in a bathtub full of jellyfish. And that's the end of the movie. It's like,
That wasn't the end of the movie.
well, he gets in a bathtub full of jellyfish. They shock him to death, and then he dies. And then it cuts to
Jellyfish shock you?
No, they don't.
Well, they stung him to death, whatever. And then it cuts to Rosario Dawson, who got his heart, and they also fell in love. But she got his heart, and she sees Woody Harrelson, who got his eyes, and then they cry. And that's the end of the movie.
Well, that's a little bit of an exaggeration.
Well, that's pretty close.
It's very close. It's it's the general gist of it. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's terrible.
Did he get in a bathtub full of jellyfish?
I think it was just one jellyfish.
Well,
I don't think. It was
anyway.
full
But there's a jellyfish in the scene.
Yeah, he gets
Yeah,
in a,
there
gets in
was
a
some
bathtub.
sort of connection with jellyfish and.
What
him.
was it?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Riveting.
Somehow, like, it'll kill him, but it won't, like, damage any of his organs or something like that.
Okay,
So-
why didn't you
Is he
shoot
allergic?
himself in the damn head?
Huh?
You can't donate the brain. Just ruin that.
Well, the
Yeah, I
eyes
think
would be in danger. in
It's
that
because
case.
it was
Why?
the only way you could kill yourself without damaging. Any
And
of
it
the
also, like,
organs.
prevents or, like, makes your organs live longer.
So it's like
or
I don't
something.
see why that's dumb. That's just cooler.
I would.
And
If it's based on fact, yeah, sure. The problem I've got with it is, where do you get a jellyfish?
Where do you get a live jellyfish?
Yeah, I want like I'm going out today. I want a jellyfish. Where do I go?
Did he live in
Exotic pet
Hawaii or
store?
something?
No, it was like Chicago or New York
Okay.
or some major city.
What the lake's right there by Chicago.
I
It was-
guess
it was
a
something
jellyfish
similar.
in the lake.
I'm totally kidding. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
You said it right.
Those freshwater jellyfish, you know.
Maybe you went to like a pet shop, aquarium place.
Yeah, I know
there.
tons of people with pet
I don't
jellyfish.
fucking know.
It's on the rise.
Whole
Ordered
Foods.
on Amazon, maybe.
So anyway, that was his last movie he made, and then he helped Willow and Jaden make their movies and start music careers, and now he's getting back into it by doing a whole bunch of the same characters he's already done. But that being said, I am actually excited about Men in Black 3. The Men in Black movies are very, like, they know what they are. They're very Sonnenfeld movies, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they know what they are. They don't try to be anything crazy. They're perfect popcorn summer action movies.
I didn't really like Men in Black 2, but it has a scene in it that I think is the funniest scene in any movie.
Which scene?
Which is where Will Smith like lands on a load of like soft tubing, but he can't get off it. He's like, there's a countdown, and he's like really trying to get to something, but he's like stuck on this stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like kicking his legs, like, and he just can't get off it because it's just so much. I was just
I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
Yeah, that
Gavin
was
would remember that.
That was also
scene.
the first movie that I saw Rosario Dawson. I was like, this girl is beautiful.
You love
And
her.
I
don't you?
love her, dude. She is so hot in Clerks 2.
She is so hot in Clerks
She
too.
is.
Oh my
little dance
god,
She is so hot in
like
Clerks
she's
2.
hotter in that than she is in Sin City. I think
You
in my
can you
opinion.
can find certain people at certain points. Like there's like a window of like they're at their hottest.
Dude.
They happen to capture her on film for Clerks 2. when
Lindsay
she was at her
Lohan
hottest.
in Mean Girls. That's the hottest she'll ever be in her life.
I think she was like 15 in that.
No, I think she was 18 at that
Let's-
point.
No, I think
Just
she was
breeze
pretty
right
young.
past that.
She wasn't 15. I'll tell you that.
Parent Trap is the best.
Here we go again. This fucking
Anyway.
underage discussion.
Rosario Dawson on top of the roof in Clerks 2 dancing. Hottest scene ever.
That's all I remember about that movie.
Oh my god.
That's all I remember about that movie. And I came away with a positive impression. I still think of that movie fondly, so
Okay.
it really left a good impression.
Yeah.
She was also
couple
in
good
Rent,
impressions.
I think.
In what?
Rent.
Yeah, I didn't
She
see that.
was the only actress who wasn't in the main cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think there was two.
Okay, well,
I
she
don't
was-
know.
yeah.
I don't know anything about musicals, but she was in that.
Are you a big fan of Rent?
I was
Gavin?
really drunk when I saw the trailer for Rent for the first time. I was seeing some movie, and like I started laughing out loud because I thought it was fucking ridiculous. Like they start singing how many seconds are in a year.
Yeah.
And it just seems like so. It's like so fucking stupid. I was like, "Is this for real?" Like I couldn't believe that was the. I thought it was a joke.
Yeah. But so you guys going to New York City to see the Men in Black premiere, right?
We are.
I would kill to go to New York City and see the Book of Mormon. Like speaking of musicals and everything.
I stayed right across the street last time I was there. When I was there last week, I stayed across the street from the theater, and I
Really?
was thinking of you, Jack.
Oh man.
The entire
Go
time.
scalp tickets and let me know how it is.
Are they
I guess
gonna?
you
put
can
them
do
on
that,
the
right? Scalp? It seems like we're thinking. I don't know why. I assume you can scalp tickets to a Broadway show, but that seems weird.
Well, they have like retailers that will have extra tickets or something like that. Like, I don't know how
I think
it works.
they're really expensive though.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they are. I mean, I know Book of Mormon is sold out. I think it's entirely sold out this year. Like, you cannot buy a ticket to see it this year unless you're buying it through a scalper or a resale or something like
Yeah,
that.
when we were in New York for New York Comic Con, it was sold out, and I asked the concierge at our hotel if there was any way to get tickets, and she was like, "Yeah, we have we have connections. We can get you tickets." I was like, "Oh, Grant, how much are they?" She's like, $600 each.
Wow.
I was
you
like,
serious?
"Nope, that's okay. I do not want to see it that bad."
Would you pay $600, Jack, to go see Book of Mormon?
If it was a really, really good seat, I'm talking like in the orchestra section, maybe fifth or sixth row back, center, maybe.
You could have just said yes. Didn't need that specific.
But if it was like nosebleed, no.
What if it was a Tuesday?
What? Sure.
I don't understand. Like that seems like a lot of money. Like a ticket, $600 to go see a play that you're going to pay that
Yeah.
amount to go. And we get into these debates a lot with my friends because we go to sporting events and not Broadway plays. That's how we roll. But like I paid $350 to get really good tickets to go see a football game in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "That's too much." It's like we flew here from Austin and we stayed in a hotel. We're already like $900 in at this
Yeah.
point. It's like you just neglect that. It's like you haven't established like this is too much, but it's like getting to this place is already 75% of the cost.
Were you already there talking to the scalper, and then they decide it's too much?
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're like, then you everything's a total loss. You have to write everything off if you don't see the fucking game.
It's just it's like we're already so committed. What's an extra $100 to get better seats?
What's the most you've ever scalped a ticket for or bought a ticket for?
I think that those tickets were $350, but I had tickets to a football game and they were on the upper deck, which sounds bad, but they were on the upper deck, 50-yard line, first row.
Oh, nice.
So it's like we were just like hanging over the field.
That
It was-
sounds pretty
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's where an Ohio State fan just pushes you right off the edge.
Dude, you were not kidding.
That was a rough game for if you're a UT fan up in Ohio.
We went to go see the Texas Longhorns play the Ohio State Buckeyes, and those are two huge college teams. And in Ohio State, they take it very seriously. No kidding, Jack. We almost got in 4 fights on the way back to the car because the
that was the
Longhorns
game.
won.
Yeah, it was the Longhorns won, but it was a close game, and so it was a fantastic game.
Yeah.
But
I've seen so many fights at hockey games.
I would only
between
imagine.
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. People
I've
are
s-
so passionate.
So I've spent.
Well, the players fight. I mean, of course, the fans are going to fight too.
No, but it's like after the game's already done, and like that one team won and one team lost. Obviously,
they don't want the fights to stop. They just want to keep going.
I mean, people
I'm
are
sick
just
of
so
fights
offended.
at these. I want to see fights in different sports. I want to see a curling fight.
Are there ever fights after boxing matches or UFC matches?
What, everyone's just in the mood for smashing.
You mean the audience?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's bound to be.
Oh, yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Are you kidding? I would
Like I
absolutely
never hear that. I always hear about like riots after like NBA games and like non-physical contact.
Do you feel violent after you watch violent things?
No.
No.
Like after you watch like not like a violent movie. I always have a weird like kind of a not I'd say violent tendency, but like my rage gets up whenever I see like a bullying thing, like one of those bully videos goes up on YouTube. That makes me I don't know why. It makes me infuriated. You know, usually like some like street fight or something like that. That stuff makes me angry.
Bloodlust.
I guess I can relate to that more than I can relate to like getting in a fist fight with an alien when it's Will Smith. You know what I mean?
Welcome to Earth. No, okay. I spent $450 on an NBA Finals ticket, and that's the most I've ever spent. That's when Jeff and I were at E3 a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And it was the Celtics and Lakers, and it was Game 6.
That's a championship game.
That was a championship game, and if the Celtics would have won, that would have been the last game of the series. So that'd be kind of cool. And that was the one where Michelle Obama, Will.i.am, and Flea were sitting right behind us.
Were they all together?
No, they were. They're on a box, like because the way the
Obama was there, but he left to float in the lazy river.
No, it was the not the Nokia Center, the Staples Center. They have a lower bowl of seats, and then they have 3 levels of VIP seats, like box seats, and then an upper bowl. And so we were behind the goal, and our backs were against literally we were on the top row of the lower bowl, and our backs were against the wall. And like right behind us was a box that had Flea, and then Will.i.am, and a Michelle Obama, and I think the 2 daughters too were there.
I'm gonna ask something really dumb. Who is Will.i.am?
Will.i.am is in the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one who sings. Like, he's not one of the 2 dancer guys. He's the guy who sings, and then it's Fergie. She also sings.
He was in that X-Men movie as well.
He was.
Oh, that's right.
X-Men Wolverine Origins. Whatever.
Oh, I never saw that one.
I thought that was the 3000 dude, Andre 3000.
No, that's Outcast.
I see. Okay.
That's Andre Benjamin and the other guy.
And how did they enjoy the game?
They were not there.
Okay.
But it was funny because that was where Jeff and I saw Hakeem Olajuwon.
Really? Now I'm excited.
It was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like they cut to him on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
And the next day, Jeff and I were flying back to Austin. We went to the In-N-Out right by LAX, and we were walking out, and we saw him again in his giant SUV going to In-N-Out. I was like, oh, that's weird.
By the airport.
Yeah.
Why would someone go to the LA?
People are obsessed with In-N-Out.
And I'm one of them.
Jeez.
In-N-Out's good.
It's
What are you
quite
talking
tasty.
about? You're obsessed with Tim Hortons.
In-N-Out's way better than Tim Hortons.
Absolutely.
Well, probably.
What the
I'm
hell's
not
Tim
obsessed with Tim
Hortons?
Hortons. It's a coffee shop in Canada that's like our only coffee shop.
Also, I didn't take a picture of it for you. New York City has them.
They do.
Yeah, I
they're
didn't know
starting
that.
to move south now.
Uh-oh.
I know.
They're infringing on Dunkin' Donuts territory up there in the Northeast.
So well, they have to move south, otherwise, like Dunkin' Donuts will just take all their
Yeah,
promotional
I think they're
things.
also moving into like Michigan and other northern states.
As far as I'm concerned, we just give Michigan to Canada. I mean, it's like 90% Canadian anyway.
Is there anything I'd want to keep in Michigan?
Ford Automotive,
Roving packs of wild dogs hunting the suburbs now.
Yeah, we can give it to Canada.
Detroit Rap. I don't know.
Let's draw a new map. Let's give the shit we don't want. You can take North Dakota too.
Just so we don't piss off anybody who lives in Michigan, why don't we give them the upper peninsula of the upper part of Michigan, which nobody recognizes anyway, even the people who live in Michigan. We'll give them that, and then we'll see how it works out. Then maybe they can take the rest.
I think out you're deciding what to give.
Do you really need?
Thank you, Mr. America.
Do you need Alaska? Is that important to?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Why?
We'll keep Alaska.
Because we got to watch.
We have reality
Russia.
shows.
We have to watch Russia
Yeah.
very closely.
We also have to watch Ice Road Truckers and Deadliest Catch.
I've never understood how Alaska is part of America. Like, it's attached to Canada.
What's that?
It's attached to us.
We fucking bought it, just like everything else.
Well, I guess we're also attached here at the bottom, but it's just funny because it's like it makes no sense. Like you have to go through Canada to get to Alaska.
Go on.
I just
To get to
imagine.
another part of your country, you have to go through another country.
I just imagine like Canadians who like working their way west across all of Canada, settling it, and they're like halfway, and Americans are like, they like jump up in Alaska, it's like ours, and you're like, okay, first.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Dibs.
Oh, you're here. Okay, let's just draw a line, a tape line. And
Jumping
we'll
back
see on the
to
side of it.
food real quick. If you could only pick between In-N-Out or Whataburger, what would you take?
I don't like Whataburger.
You don't like
I
Whataburger?
straight up don't like Whataburger.
Whoa.
Yeah, that freaks people out for sure.
I love
Texas.
Whataburger, but I would pick In-N-Out.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, I would go Whataburger all the way. Whataburger is like the local, or like the southern version of In-N-Out. Like we only kind of have it in this area, and it's delicious.
It's okay.
I love me some Whataburger.
It's so good.
There's a thing some hamburger places do that I don't like,
What's
which
that?
is they grill their buns. Like they butter them and grill them. I can't. That's too much.
Delicious.
It's
That
too
is-
much.
It is delicious.
We talked. Gavin and I were talking about cheeseburgers the other day, and
yeah.
we were thinking about doing a cheeseburger challenge. I can't do it.
I think you should do it.
No,
you're like, I love cheeseburgers.
You know, if you're in, I'll do it too.
What's the cheeseburger
Well, you get a
challenge?
bunch of
I
us going.
want Gus to have a cheeseburger every meal of the day for 5 days in a row.
Wow.
But see, the thing is, I said that
same
would be,
one.
it would be too easy if I had my choice of burgers. I said you got to make it like the low level base burger, like the 79-cent cheeseburger at McDonald's.
Yeah, it'd
and
be
like
that.
that's all you
But
can eat. For a
only
week.
that one.
I can't do that. I would fucking go crazy.
That's fucking easy.
You want to do the cheeseburger challenge?
I don't want to. I would.
All right, you can do it.
What do you get for that?
Oh, I don't know. We were just in the conceptual stage.
Yeah, I just wanted to interview him before his first one, like, oh, delicious, and then interview him right before his last one, where he's like, I want to die.
Oh yeah, it'd be horrible. Although a cheeseburger's a weird thing. A cheeseburger's like the only thing that you eat that it gets better the more you eat it. Like the last bite of a cheeseburger, something about that's
You
awesome.
don't want it to end. You're just like, oh.
What's it, or all the stuff like goes to the bottom, like via gravity. I don't know what that is.
What were you pulling out of your burger last night?
It wasn't a burger. It was a tuna sandwich. And I pulled out cucumber
Ugh.
because it's fucking cute. We got a long
Gus
discussion
just
too.
puked in his
I hate
Yeah.
cucumber.
What do you know what a gherkin is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a type of pickle, right?
It's a dance
No,
move.
right.
It is,
You
isn't
call
it?
them pickles. The pickle is not a thing. It's not a vegetable. There's no
The
such
pickle
thing as
is not a thing.
No.
Is a French fry a thing? Because it's from a fucking potato.
Yeah, well done.
Oh.
So yeah, cucumber's a thing, idiot.
What about a raisin?
I'm sorry, a pickle's a thing.
Yeah, but that's the method.
What?
So
It's
raisins,
when you,
raisins
when
are
you
things?
pickle something. So it's a pickled cucumber, I think.
Yeah,
is
but you
his-
can pickle all
When I
these
say a
different-
pickle, someone gets a picture in their mind and they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it's a method of doing something. You can pickle anything. You
Right,
can pickle
of course
you
you
can
can.
pickle an onion.
Okay,
You
sorry.
don't
A gherkin is a pickled cucumber.
No,
Is that what they say at the fucking grocery store when you go? Vlasic, pickled cucumbers. No, they say fucking pickles.
where I'm from, in a burger is a gherkin because that's what it is. It's pickled. That
sounds disgusting.
You don't call it pickle like you don't call. You don't call fries chops because they've been chopped. It doesn't make any damn sense.
But they've been fried. That's what you call them fries. Damn it! You're a fucking moron. You're an idiot.
I drink shakes.
Well, I don't call them fries anyway. I call them chips. So
That's true.
shut up.
They're chipped potatoes.
Damn it!
Gherkins. Okay, so what was the whole point? Gherkins?
So gherkins are an actual vegetable. Like
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Like, so you have pickled cucumbers and pickled gherkins, but you call them both a pickle. That's my issue with it.
Gherkin sounds
What
like
the fuck's a
sound you
gherkin?
make when you puke.
A gherkin is like it's like what we call pickles. Like we don't actually eat pickled cucumbers. Typically, we eat pickled gherkins.
Yeah.
They're the little lumpy.
Do you not ever have
Yeah.
pickled onions?
What?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
No.
Do you call those pickles?
Do you- have
call
you-
them damn onions?
Have you ever eaten a gherkin? Ever like I'm just gonna have stewed gherkins, like grilled gherkin,
My brother used to eat gherkins from a jar of like
pickled gherkins.
yeah.
No,
So
that's what I'm
pickles.
asking you. Have you ever had just gherkins, non-pickled gherkins?
No, I hate.
So it's the
gherkins.
same
I don't
thing. We
like
just
them
call them
pickled.
pickles.
What?
It's the same thing in reverse.
What are you on about?
Well, you're saying it's like you call them gherkins, we call them pickles. That's it. We don't actually eat pickled cucumbers. We eat pickled gherkins. Have you anybody ever had a pickled cucumber, like a legitimate, like
I've
like
seen
this
it. Like you
big,
get big slices of cucumber.
an enormous pickled cucumber,
Yeah.
like that big?
No, not the whole thing.
Not the whole thing.
I've seen slices of a pickled
Yeah.
cucumber, yeah.
It's usually at like diners when you get like a burger
hate
and
those.
fries. Yeah, I hate that kind of pickle.
Pickled anything is just gross, nasty.
No, you're crazy.
What is pickling? What do you do to
You
pickle
like
something?
pack it in
vinegar,
vinegar,
don't you?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gross! Really?
Yeah, it's all like.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
Good way to
better.
describe
I
it.
love vinegar.
We're about to go to Australia, Gavin. Do you know what they put on their hamburgers down there?
Cheese.
Beets.
Oh.
A slice of beets.
It's so gross. The first time I went down there, I ordered a burger and I thought it was just a slice of tomato. I was like, okay, I'll take a bite out of this. Nope.
I like
It's a
beets.
beet. When
you
you're,
have
not,
to-
when you're not expecting it, that is a fucking shock.
Do you
dude.
find that stuff tastes terrible when you don't expect it? Like, I once had like a glass of orange juice, and I went to take a sip, and I realized I was drinking milk.
Ugh.
Like someone just left a glass of milk, and I like milk.
How did you think it was orange
I didn't
juice?
look at it. I was just like,
But why orange juice?
Wait, so you just grab stuff and drink it
it
without
was
looking?
next to me. I was just like,
I'm not going to
and-
use that against you
and
in any way.
I like milk, but the fact that I was expecting orange juice made me want to throw up. I was like, oh, what is this? It was
Did I ever
like
tell you
really-
what happened to my friend with vinegar?
No.
He came in, he was very young, like 6 or 7 years old. He came in after playing outside on a really hot day, like dying of thirst, and he was at his grandmother's house with his mother. And his mom opened the fridge looking for water and found this clear container and poured him a giant glass, and he took a gulp of it, and it was vinegar.
Oh,
So he is now scarred for life. Cannot have salad dressing or anything with like a vinegar taste at all.
Why did his grandmother just have a giant jar of
No idea.
she was pickling gherkins.
She was pickling air.
So you guys know where I will sometimes drink out of a Coke and then take like 4 sips.
Yeah.
and then
Leave it everywhere.
leave it laying around. Yeah.
Or eat one chip and leave the bag on the kitchen table.
What's that?
When you eat one chip from a bag of
This
chips.
is listen. Here's my logic there. Is that I don't want to eat the entire bag of pretzels, but I don't want to just throw them away. So I leave them for anyone
Someone
else.
else to throw away.
No, if someone else wants to have a
But no,
pretzel.
who walks up and sees, ooh, open food? I'm gonna have some of this. Like no one does that.
No one does that.
Literally everyone in this company
Like,
does
but
that.
the thing is, if you like poured them into a bowl, sure, then I would come up and maybe eat one or two.
What am I hosting a party?
Sure. I mean, well, you're
Maybe that shit
trash
flies on the other side of the firewall back there with those dirty animators. That shit doesn't fly up here.
over the annex.
But
Your problems.
I think I know why I might not want to go back to a can of Coke that I've had. It's like if I forgot where I put it down, I will just get another one. And it's like even though I know that it's my Coke,
You are very wasteful.
I
I think
I'm
you
not
enjoy
wasteful.
wasting stuff.
No,
there is a satisfaction.
That's you.
of just
That is you.
there's a satisfaction in that.
There's
Just
not.
like you know when
What satisfaction is there in
I don't know,
wasting
like
things?
say you're staying in a hotel and you just leave the water running. There's like a deep down. It's like I'm wasting water, but I'm not paying for it.
What are you?
He's being a dick.
No,
It's like a treat.
we don't have that. Like, what were you talking about?
When
There
are
was-
you dying to leave the water running in your own house?
I don't know. It's just like
Ooh.
I'll just leave that running for a bit.
We were talking about some public campaign in the UK, something we do in America that you guys don't do in the US. And what was it? And when I was comparing it to, I said the most successful public campaign in the history of the US was the Don't Litter campaign. Because people in America hate littering. Like, they hate it. So, and it wasn't always that case. Like in the 70s, people just throw shit everywhere. And there's a scene in Mad Men where like they just dump their shit off of on a picnic. They just like dump all their stuff off the.
terrible.
Yeah, it's the way people used to be. They didn't care.
Who used to clean it up?
Yeah.
And
I
now
don't
you
know.
see someone throwing something on the side of the road and you give them the like death eye.
Yeah, you'd be more likely to go after them than if you saw them like, well, not like hitting a dog, but like something else. So, I mean, yeah, people take it really, really seriously. But we were talking about that in regards to something in the UK that you guys take really seriously there, and I can't fucking remember what it is now.
I don't remember.
Was it Don't Text and Drive? What was that one video where like the girls are in a car texting and driving and then getting that
Yeah.
It was
horrible
you
car
nailed it.
accident?
You actually got that's really weird.
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
that's
it. It was
that
drunk
it?
driving.
It was yeah.
Oh, it was drunk driving.
His is like if you set foot in a bar, you don't drive in the UK. Like there's no like I need to evaluate whether or not I'm tipsy or a little bit. How the fuck did you land on that? It's so weird. That brings us back to our coincidence
Magic.
thing. But yeah, he was saying that in the UK. Gavin was saying that
I just feel like drunk driving in the UK is a huge, huge deal, and people never risk it. Like here, it's like I've had a few. I feel
probably
alright.
okay.
Yeah, and they just drive.
Well, it's also public transportation over there's a lot better,
Yeah, you
right?
have to drive everywhere in this goddamn country.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or I guess
Says
state.
the girl who drives from across the street.
That is true. You do
Yeah,
drive.
one of like the 8 people who live 300 feet away and
That's-
drive to work.
I only drive on the days I want to go somewhere at lunch, which is most days. Then I gotta go walk back, get my car.
I
drive
just feel
somewhere
like
else.
in this country, drink driving should be a bigger deal.
Is that what you call it? Drink driving?
drunk driving.
Yeah,
were you saying drunk and it came out drink?
I don't know.
Or do you all
Like-
actually call it drink
Are
driving?
you drunk
over
right
there?
now?
I'm okay.
The thing I love about Gav, and that no one who listens to the podcast can appreciate, is that every week he comes in here and consistently puts his headphones on wrong.
Are they on wrong?
Every week.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to say something about it, but I wanted to see if you would stop on your own or if it was a coincidence. But
Oh, they feel
no,
weird
no,
this way around.
intentionally, you obviously put them on wrong every single fucking time we come in here.
After
actually-
last week, do you think now that he's fucking with you slowly over time?
Maybe. I can't take anything for granted.
I wish we had video rolling last week. You stood up and threw your chair down. You were so pissed off.
Afterwards, I told Bernie that I had at one point was replying to one of his IMs and was going to ask him if he was getting all of his IMs in quotes because did something change. And I typed the whole thing out, but then I deleted it. I was like, no, I'll figure this shit out.
Oh my god.
I was internet for like a day and then I got really lazy and stopped doing it.
Oh, do I have anything
doing
for
it?
you? I should look and see.
And
if I have
Bernie
anything
came
for
to
you.
me the exact same way he came to the other guys. He's like, hey, you want to fuck with Gus? I'm like, fuck
Yes,
yeah.
I'm in.
Tell me anything.
Immediately, everyone was like, "Absolutely! How do I do this?" Not like, why are we messing with Gus? Why isn't he busy? No one said that, and no one at all. Gus.
Well, it's,
Everybody was right on board with the plan.
I wish I could go back and find all my Google searches from around that time.
Me too.
Because I'm sure it was
Probably
like,
can, right?
No, it's disabled.
Oh, you were
It's
logged
like-
in as
Thank God for that.
It's like iChat quotes OS X iChat quotes settings quote iChat OS X.
Man, it's scary. When you look at a search history, it's fucking scary.
Oh, yeah.
It's like looking into the thought process of somebody's brain. It's just like you don't want to get that deep into someone's head. I was thinking about this when I was looking at my data online the other day. I was like all my cloud accounts where it's like, oh, my data's here, then it's here, and it's over there. And it's like, I got this really weird feeling we're talking about how whether something can be self-aware. And it's like, I realize, like, in a weird way, like, I'm my cloud's access to the real world. Like, it's the way all this data gets out from the internet to everyone else. Like, that's creepy to me. You know what I mean? It's like I'm just kind of like portal to the meat world for all this stuff, for all this digital stuff. But I have a problem, Gus. So you were talking about how you were freaked out and you were looking through settings and Googling. I have a problem that always bothers me on my browser. And I don't know what causes it, but it happens all the time. Or it happens like intermittently enough to where it bothers me and it's a trend, but
You don't do anything about it.
I can't do anything about it. I don't know if it's a thing. Every now and then I'll be filling out a form, like, you know, typing in something, and I type in something wrong, and I hit backspace a couple times, and my backspace makes my page go back
You were clicked out of the box.
1 or 2 times.
Oh yeah, if you click
Yeah.
out of the box, that'll do that.
It'll do that? Is that what happens?
Backspace is back on a browser unless you're actually typing in a...
That is the fucking stupidest thing ever. Is that what causes that?
Yeah, that's totally what
That's
that is.
happened on YouTube, like uploading videos and stuff. Like, I gotta go change the description, and like accidentally hit backspace, and it's like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
and then
How do you
start it
disable?
up.
Can you disable that?
You probably change the
There's probably
shortcut
something
key.
in.
Why don't
yeah,
you just go
keyboard
forward
setting.
again?
What's that?
Just go forward again.
Well, because you lose information sometimes.
If you're filling out fields, typically it'll stay.
Yeah.
But
like,
there's sometimes if it's a secure form, I don't think it
That's
will.
Like I
happened
was
to
saying,
me
like,
so many
or like a
times.
YouTube upload. Like if you do that on a YouTube upload, it just kills the upload.
That's a good point.
That's a bastard. That's happened a few times to me.
Can I tell you something that will make you all want to switch to Chrome, which I can't believe most of you guys don't use
I'm
Chrome.
on Chrome now.
I use Chrome.
I
Use Safari. You use Safari?
Yeah.
Here's one of the greatest things ever under the file menu that I wish every browser had. There's new tab, new window, new incognito window. I don't ever use that. But the one below that is reopen closed tab. So if
Yeah.
you accidentally close a tab.
Safari has
You do it
that.
on Safari, just press undo.
What?
Yeah, Safari.
Bullshit.
Safari also has reopen all tabs from last session.
That's not the same thing, though.
If you close
a
tab,
tab.
just-
Yeah,
Come on,
in
Zed.
in Safari, you can reopen last tab. You can also reopen last closed window as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to test this right now, and you're going to be embarrassed when it doesn't work.
But Chrome does have a list of all the tabs you've recently closed. Like, it has a list of, like, 10 or so. So you, if
I did
you-
use
I don't
Chrome.
want
It used
that.
to- It used to fail to load pages constantly. It'd be like, oops, couldn't do that.
It is now the most popular web browser. I think last week it finally surpassed Internet Explorer and Firefox.
That works. He's right. That works. A lot of times, though, I like start navigating in a tab and I don't realize that I've closed the wrong one. Like I like navigated like 6 away, and then I'm like, oh shit, and I've gone off and done something else. I imagine Control Z will only go back if you just do it the moment you close it. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah. No, well, like with the amount of YouTube and stuff we use, it makes sense to use Chrome. I mean, it seems for some reason YouTube seems to work so much better with Chrome than anything else.
I
so.
wonder why.
Well,
Go figure.
Could there be some reason there? What's the commonality?
Some collusion or something.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, Bernie,
Yes.
should we get onto the subject
Yeah, you guys are dead.
of how we are dead?
No, skip it next week.
Just wait. You have plenty of time.
The problem is, I'm pausing when you ask that because I want to try to think of all the coincidences that have
Should
come
we
up.
prepare better for this and come back?
No. Let's do it. Let's.
There
do
was
this.
one that happened in LA, which was really creepy.
There's
We basically think we're dead because the most ridiculous coincidences keep happening.
like even just trying to think of something and then basically Jack doesn't know what we're talking about and blurts it out.
Yeah.
Like that just kind of
Like that
happened
now.
now. That's a low level of example of that though because he got close to it.
And it's happened literally on the podcast a few times.
It
like
has?
when I was mentioning seeing Howard Stern
That was
Live.
podcast number 159,
was
right?
the same day you'd booked travel to go on the wrap-up show.
And I just hadn't told anybody about it.
yeah.
'Cause It was one of
and
those
you
things.
actually said on the podcast, that's a coincidence. And I just completely missed the fact that you said that.
right because I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were going to see Howard Stern for that
Yeah.
taping. And at the same day, I booked that trip to go to sit in on the wrap-up show, which was awesome. By
On,
the way.
on another podcast, we were talking about Monty, and literally in the same second he walked in. That's
Right.
a weird one.
the,
I'm half
mo-
expecting him to walk in right now.
Yeah.
the moment that Gavin and I started talking about Monty, he walked in.
Tell the LA one.
Okay, the LA one, we were passing a nail salon. And so what we're thinking, what Gavin and I think is that we're like in a coma. One of us is real. I think I'm real and you're fake.
No, this is what's happened, right? This is my theory on it.
So he's Tyler Durden.
My theory is that we've never met. We were driving cars, we crashed into each other, and we're side by side in a hospital in comas.
You got
And we're
Bernie and my Gavin. You got Gavin and my Bernie.
and we're just sharing this experience, which we refer, our present now is actually a coma dream. Mm-hmm. We're actually dying next to each other right now.
And we're like constructing reality on the fly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what we think.
That makes sense.
It totally does.
Good stuff.
It's
Stuff
like
is
a,
just
it's like a
too-
branch of Inception.
Yeah, stuff is just too perfect.
So we were in Los Angeles and we passed a nail salon, and it said airbrushing by David.
By David,
and
yeah.
it was like the worst sign ever. It was just like, and it was on the side of a nail
Like
salon.
an MS Paint.
It looked horrible. It looked like crayons. And I said, why would you put up an airbrushing sign and make it look like shit? I said, and then it's like by David. And I even said to Barb and Gavin in the car, I said, see, that's the thing about LA they have to get used to, is that it's not important how well you do or what you're doing. It's all about promoting yourself. Like this guy, airbrushing by David. Like we're supposed to know who David is. And David's getting his name out there, and David's awesome. And I said, and the epitome of that is there's a woman in LA named Angeline, and she drives around. She has billboards up that say Angeline on them, and she puts herself on them, and she doesn't do anything. She's not in anything, but that she's just famous for being famous. And I said, and she rides around in this pink Corvette, and it says Angeline on the license plate, the vanity license plate. And there she is right there. And we were passing her literally the other direction. Like she was coming the opposite way
On
of the
this
road.
tiny side street, too.
Yeah.
And it's
in
just like
LA.
the conversation just flowed into it. Like you were just describing it, and then you were just like, and there she is,
Right there.
and I was like, what?
That's fucking weird.
That was really weird. And then there was another, like, we had a bunch of these, and then there was another crazy one, which was our Seattle valet thing. This one takes forever to explain. But essentially, we remember the shirt.
Should we get Carrie and Miles in here?
No. I'll tell it fast. Remember the discussion about the shirt, whether the shirt was gray or beige?
Yes.
Right? And so we were making fun of Brandon for not knowing it. Like, we were just having this conversation about gray and beige. And then this car pulled up. Like, we were waiting for our valet. That's why we were talking. And our car pulled up, and it was, help me out here, it was a white car, but it was like a Chevy Malibu. And I go to get in it, and Gavin's like, that's not our car. That's not our car. And I was like, oh yeah, this is a Chevy Malibu. It's
Yeah,
not
I
our
was
car.
like, why were you getting in that car? Our car's not white, and it was a white car.
He says, our car's silver. I said, no, our car's white. It's just not a Chevy Malibu. Ours is a Toyota Corolla. And he goes, no, our car is silver. And I said, no, our car is a white Toyota Corolla. He goes, it's a silver Toyota Corolla. And I said, nope. And then we're sitting there, and
So this car, the first car he tried to get into, which is completely the wrong car, drives off.
drives off. Then around the corner, valet comes up, white Toyota Corolla.
So
And
I was like,
busted.
I was like, damn, it was white. I don't remember it being white at all.
So I go to get in the car, and none of my stuff is in there in our car. I'm like, where's my? I had a bag in here. Where is it?
And the valet's going, no. And he'd already got in the car. I was knocking on the window. He thought I was trying to get in. Like, I thought the door was locked. So he was like, get in. Stop knocking on the window. Get in. I was like, no, it's not our car.
Because right behind that, our silver Toyota Corolla shows up. So like, I thought a white Toyota Corolla would show up. He thought a silver one would show up, and a white Toyota Corolla showed up.
Wow.
After the first mistake. Then what is the fucking probability of that?
That's wild.
Yeah, and so it's like, it's been a string of those. Whenever Gavin and I are together, it's just these weird fucking coincidences.
We were talking about sunspots on the podcast. And then later that day, wasn't there a discovery about sunspots?
Later that same day, there hadn't been a sunspot like 9 months after the podcast discussion. There was a huge sunspot in a solar storm, which they worried about.
Yeah.
We go to Seattle. He doesn't know anyone in Seattle. We go to dinner, we step out of the cab, and we run into Lori, the one person he knows in all of Seattle.
Something's
Just
not
on
right
Grand
here,
Island
right?
Street.
I mean, who has had so many coincidences happen in such a short period of time?
So I don't know if you're in a coma. I think this is like the Truman Show. I think someone's like broadcasting your
yeah,
life.
but whose show is
Don't
it?
give it
I don't know.
away.
Sorry.
Nothing. It is pretty fucked up.
Maybe you all are in competing shows on different networks.
That's true.
Maybe.
I think Gavin's
And
like,
they're trying to one up each
I
other.
had the UK version, and then they merged it.
So yours was first,
one
and then
network
now
bought the other.
we've adopted it
Yeah.
into the United
Made it
States.
better.
And ours will run longer.
America's Got Birdie.
Here's our solution. Gavin and I we're going to go out and jointly buy a lottery ticket together.
Yeah.
I would do that.
We picked numbers, right?
Yeah, we have the numbers.
Should you joint? You should buy like a lotto ticket jointly. You should also quick pick numbers separately and see if they come out to be the same.
That would be crazy.
there was actually a post on Reddit yesterday. It was someone's parents were having their 30th wedding anniversary, and they independently bought the same card. Like they bought the cards to give each other, and they were the exact same card.
for the anniversary?
I can
Yeah,
see
for their
that. I can
anniversary.
see that happening.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
live together. And
The crazy,
But I mean, like,
the super crazy coincidence is the one we've talked about before, where like the couple's married and they're looking through like their childhood
Yeah.
pictures and
Oh,
they see
yeah,
each
yeah.
other in like the same picture from
In
Disneyland
Disneyland,
when
yeah.
they're like being
Yeah,
pushed
that's
around in strollers. Like that shit's
I still can't get over that.
that shit's
yeah.
like that is the craziest.
You know
shit.
when something's so freaky, you just have to like stand up and just be in awe of the situation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to say
You need to
anything
be in
about
awe.
how. What?
you need to be in awe of the situation.
You hope like one of those people in that couple was really quick thinking, because one of them goes, this is us. We're both at Disney World. He and like the woman's explaining this to the guy, and hopefully the guy like understood immediately and go, yes, my plan has finally come together. Because it could be really creepy if, like, one of them played it off as it's been a lifelong endeavor.
He saw her at Disney World that day and fell in love.
And so, what do we? I have in my notes here that we're also supposed to talk about what your first experience with pornography was, Gavin.
I don't know.
It was a wood porn.
I think when we talked about forced porn,
forced porn.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I experienced forced porn when I was a kid. So
What does this mean?
You find old porno mags in the woods.
usually like sun bleached pornos.
We've all experienced it.
I've never heard of that.
There was even a thread
I've
on
never heard
Reddit
that
about
either.
it a couple weeks ago, and everyone in the thread was like, "Oh my god, I thought this was just me. I didn't realize that this was like a common thing." I guarantee you, that empty lot by our office.
Yeah.
If you go back into the trees, you'll find porn in there. I guarantee.
I
you
think
there's
Gavin and
porn
I should
back
probably
there.
go check it out because we've never.
You'll also
experienced
find
that
poison
before.
ivy.
You'll also find poison ivy and maybe a snake. We saw a snake climb that chain link
Is it
fence
an
last year.
American thing? Maybe
I've never.
because I've never heard of that before.
I looked it up. There's a discussion right here. It's somebody posted August 3rd, 2005. Did you, as a kid, find porn in the woods? I did, and I have noticed this is a worldwide phenomenon. Why is there porn in the woods? Where does the porn in the woods come from? And then somebody else followed up. I would like an answer for this. This is a serious question.
There's like some Johnny Porno seed out there. Is just like leaving magazines and forests across the country.
Probably a good place to hide it.
cultivate.
Yeah,
It makes sense because where else would you hide it? You wouldn't burn it.
your house,
So
your
it comes
car.
from people being too embarrassed to throw it out.
I don't know.
It must be.
I don't know.
Or they're
why would you
spreading-
be embarrassed to throw it out?
Or just they don't want to throw it out. They want to just spread the love
Yeah,
to
yeah.
young, naive kids.
Illegally
Yeah.
supplying pornography to minors.
Is it illegal to leave porn?
Like
in
if
the
you're
woods?
walking down a forest
Well,
trail
glittering.
and you see like on the side of the trail a weather-beaten copy of Hustler magazine, like a pornography magazine, would that surprise you? Because that would not surprise me. I can picture that.
It would not surprise me at all.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
would
well,
not shock me.
Like in my mind, I think like places I'll see pornography magazines: the airport, a convenience store, a trail, walking in the woods. Those are the top three places I can imagine
Why
seeing a porn magazine.
Airports have the filthiest porno
Have
mags.
you ever seen anyone buy a porno mag at an
No.
airport? Why do they sell them?
I don't know.
Where are you
Someone's
going
got
to
to be
read it
buying
on the
them.
plane?
Wasn't there a story of a guy watching porn in first class on a plane one
I was
time?
I've
going to ask you,
heard of
have you run into that ever? Like people watching porn?
I've never seen that, but I heard stories.
I've
of
heard
that
of it.
happening.
I remember one time I watched Old School on my laptop on the plane, and like the scene where they're having like the oil wrestling or whatever. I had to like close my monitors a little bit. I was like, I felt so awkward.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
I've had
watching
situations like that.
I can't imagine watching
I
pornography.
skipped those scenes.
Yeah, I'll remove my laptop from full screen and like move the window to the corner, wait for it to finish, and then like pull it back out. Like I don't know. I feel weird about doing that.
Yeah.
Do you do that with violent scenes or just
Yeah,
nudity?
even violence. I'll do that.
Depends on the scene, I guess. Yeah, but I do that same thing too. Because you never know. He's playing. It could be a kid around. You know.
Yeah.
Just awkward.
And of course, the kid's like fucking full screen that stuff.
Zoom. Control up scroll. So didn't you do that test thing like I did? You
Yeah,
wanna talk
so
about that?
I got my results back for 23andMe, and
We're
it's-
excited.
It's a boy.
Yeah, I'm a boy. I found out after all these years. So I got that genetic test done, and so the big thing for me was that I think I've talked about this before on the podcast, at least a little bit. But I have a weird kind of genealogy in that it's weird by circumstance because my father was a Catholic priest and my mother was a Catholic nun, which is odd to begin with.
Is that when the coincidences started?
That's when they started. All the coincidences started. Like this number on my neck. But the thing about my mom that was also interesting is that she was also adopted, and so we never really knew what her lineage was. And she was actually, believe it or not, Barb, she was actually adopted through a Canadian adoption agency.
Really?
Yeah, but part of my mother's family that she was raised by, they were French Canadian. Essentially her adopted parents.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So later in life, we actually figured out it was like, it was a different time back then. It was actually, we found out that the guy that she thought was her uncle all along was actually her genetic father, and that he had an affair and tried to bring the result of the affair home to live with him and his family, and the wife apparently was like, that's not gonna fucking happen. So then he gave this baby daughter, my mom, to his sister who couldn't have any kids at the time, but she ended up having kids later. And then so she raised my mom. So we knew who the father was, but we didn't know who the mother was. And just because, I always thought it was because I got the nickname Bernie in high school. Did I ever tell you how I got the nickname Bernie?
Yeah, there was already a Michael.
There was four. I was the fourth one. So Mike, Michael, and Mikey were all taken, and so this woman, Janine, she was a senior in high school. She seemed like a million years older than me when I was a freshman. But her name was Janine Senior, and she said, "What's your last name?" And I said, "Burns." And she goes, "Well, how about Bernie?" I was like, "That won't stick." So I was 13 years old when I got that nickname. But I always felt that because I had the nickname Bernie, that it's very obviously a very Jewish name. And just the way I look, curly hair, and, being in comedy is like people just always like kind of wanted me to be Jewish, especially like people I know who are Jewish are like, they're like, "You're definitely Jewish. You're definitely Jewish."
One of us.
I was like, no. I said, well, first of all,
They just want to claim you for themselves.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
I said, first of all, my mother's a Catholic nun. I know that's not. I don't think it's possible. So I decided to get a genetic test. And would you like to hear the results of my genetic test?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
So my
Shut up, Jack.
my father, not surprisingly, I got my results back. He's like 90 to 100 percentile Northern and Western Europe, basically Irish Catholic, just like we always assumed. So got my mother's maternal line, and it's she had a French Canadian father, but then 50 to 60% of her genetic line is a genetic match for the Arabian Peninsula, and my mother was not Arabian, so there's a little hot spot here on Israel. So it appears now that I might have been the son of an Irish Catholic priest and a Jewish nun. So I don't know how that possibly works out.
It sounds like the setup for a joke, like the opening line.
I know. It covers all the bases pretty much.
Yeah.
Alison Stroll must be full of joy.
Well, she's always said it all along. She has absolutely always said it.
They know.
She claims. She even wrote on Twitter, she goes, "Apparently I know Bernie Burns better than he knows himself."
So I asked you if you felt different after finding this out.
It is a weird thing to find out, get an idea of your genetic makeup at my age, I mean, it's like something you kind of have established. But no, I don't think it changes my identity.
Well, I mean, you've already built your identity over the course of your life.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter at this
Not
point.
really, though.
I've
tried.
It doesn't matter in any way to you.
No, I mean, it's like more so, Judaism is kind of a strange thing, and it's one of the few religions that you're born into, essentially. I mean, it's not...
I don't believe that.
What's that?
What are you showing?
You gotta be fucking kidding me. He just got a message from Lori Webb on his phone.
I've got to go lie down. I've got to go lie down. Maybe we're waking up from the coma or what?
What in the motherfuck? How did that happen? How often do you talk to her?
No, not since I saw her, like 2 months ago.
Holy
I thought you were going to say you got a text from Allison.
Yeah, I was thinking that first.
That's weird.
What?
Bernie has a weird look on his face.
You look legitimately concerned.
Listen, this happens all the time.
Do you ever do that thing where you're singing a song in your head, you get in, turn on the radio, and that song immediately starts playing?
That's more common just because, songs you hear more often, you'll get
I
in your
guess
head
so.
and it'll play on the radio.
But still, it's pretty trippy.
I mentioned this before, I think. We have our drinking game where even when we say the disclaimer. But I really think that, radio waves are in the air, and we can't feel them. They're out there though, but I think we might sense them in a way, conditioned, we don't interpret them or anything like that, but maybe if you feel a certain way when a song is playing, you might just get conditioned to that without even realizing it.
But the thing is, I can see why you'd say that, but the frequency never changes, does it? It's just data that's transmitted over a certain frequency.
Well, surely the world is flooded with radio waves from all directions.
Right, but
it's
the
just
thing is
noise hitting
the
us
wave
at the moment.
doesn't change depending on the data. The wave should be constant. It operates at that frequency.
Well, how the fuck do you put the data in it?
I don't know.
So what
I
is
don't know enough. I'm kind of half talking out my ass.
What
This is the bad
physically-
science portion of the podcast.
There has to be something though, right?
When a radio wave hits you, what physically is it? Is it just a frequency of light? It's like non-visible light, right? On the spectrum of all waves, only a tiny percent is
Right.
perceivable to us,
Right.
and then the rest is like gamma rays and X-rays and crap that we can't see.
Cosmic rays. My dad built a cosmic ray detector. He worked on the Super Collider, and one of those projects he worked on was just build a homemade cosmic ray detector with home products. That thing was fucking scary as shit because the thing's going off all the time. We're getting bombarded by crap constantly.
You say cosmic ray.
We're conditioned to it, though.
What's that? Oh no, I mean it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean it's going to go through the earth.
Yeah, the atmosphere's there to. I mean, we have evolved to live with the shit that's out there.
Right. Otherwise, we would have been dead a long time ago.
Right.
Can I be super nerdy for a second?
What are you going to do?
So there is a restaurant at Disney World in the Magic Kingdom called Cosmic Rays. And they've got an animatronic alien who sings while you eat.
Don't take Aaron there. Freak out.
Speaking of Disney World, did you see what Jordan did? Jordan did yesterday. I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw he hit a drawing.
Yeah, so like he was at Disneyland out in California, and he hit a drawing behind, I guess, a lamp or something. And they said
Disneyland.
if you can find it, you can have it.
So he littered, is what you're saying.
Sounds like it.
Technically, yes.
This is Jared Dan who makes the RT Animated Adventures. Yeah.
Him and I, we bonded over Disney-ana stuff, I guess.
Yeah, sounds
Is that what
awesome.
it's called?
Dude, when I'm going to go talk at Full Sail, Jack met a writer for Disney. who was
Oh
there.
God, that was awesome. No, he was a former Imagineer, which those are the guys who create like everything in the theme park.
Imagineering.
That's not a real title.
I want to.
It is a real title. I've got his card. He gave me his card.
Does he have a PhD?
He's got a 4-year degree in Imagineering.
Could I be
Civil
Ruthie's first ever
Civil
Imagineer?
Imagineering.
You know what? the best title I've ever seen on a business card, and it's actually a real title, was beer stylist. I thought that was pretty cool.
Beard
Beers.
stylist?
Beer.
Stylist.
There's a
And
title.
all he does is work on commercials to make beer look good on camera.
I met a guy who worked for South Park Studios who his title is EIEIO, which is like electronic something information officer.
So this guy is a beer stylist. What does he do?
He like on the side of he will like frost a glass and
Yeah,
like
he'll,
make
like-
sure the head is perfect, and then put like blobs of condensation in the right places.
Like a food stylist.
Like
but for
like
beer.
a pack shot is like an art to get something to look good on camera for like the final shot of a commercial is like this very specialized area of the industry.
I feel
And
like
it's really
I feel
interesting.
like taking pictures or even video of food is
Yeah.
really difficult. Like a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
times
the same
I'll
with
go to
food.
restaurants, I'll be walking down the street and they'll have like photos of their food
Yeah.
in the window. It's like this all looks disgusting.
Like, this
like,
guy-
like the Hofbrau on West 6th. The food there's awesome, but they always put pictures of their food in the window. And
It's a real picture.
and it looks fucking terrible.
chances are that whenever you see food on TV, it's completely inedible. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's been like varnished and like it's like glossing and
It has
in
to
certain
sit under the
places.
lights
and
and
it's been under lights for a long time.
picture
he,
of the Big
he had
Mac
this
at
like
McDonald's.
he had this. Did you ever see that scene in Toy Story 2 where that guy restores Woody and he's got all these like nifty little wooden tools? And it's like that. He's like got the weirdest collection of things and like different solutions and stuff. It's like it's really interesting. It's just you can't teach that. He has to. It's like one of those jobs where he's very valuable just because of his experience, and you can't learn that. It's just stuff he's.
He doesn't
picked
have an
up.
apprentice.
No.
You know, there's in this genetic thing that I take, there's apparently a genetic flip that you can have where I didn't know this. There's two kinds of earwax in the world. There's wet earwax and dry earwax.
I didn't know that either till I did the test.
Yeah, so some people have. I think it's in Asia and Southeast Asia. They have dry earwax, like a candle, like that kind of wax in their ears.
Any
And
of
it
you
has
have dry earwax?
I don't think so.
think
I don't think most like Anglo people have it.
Like, I didn't even know that was a possibility.
Nope. Yeah, and then I was kind of fascinated by that, and then we got into the whole thing about the Indian ear cleaners, the people who wander the street with these tools, like you're talking about. They have like these long,
Yeah.
they're horrifying
Like
looking,
just incredibly specific to that one thing.
right, for like chipping out wax in
Have
your
any
ears.
of you ever had your ears flushed?
Yes.
No.
I did.
It's creepy.
I had an ear infection and like they had to flush out my ears.
Oh, I had a bug flushed out of my ear.
Yeah, the moth, right?
Yeah.
But it's the weirdest thing ever because like they did it to me, and then I went outside and I was like, I could hear butterflies. And, like I took a shower the next day and it was loud like thunder. I was like, why is everything so loud now?
You're like a superhero.
I know. I
Oh,
was like, I need my earwax back.
Somebody sent me a link that, we always said that if the superhero arose, they would be in either China or India because they contain 1/3 of the world's population. So just by probability chance. Well, some idiot who listens to us and doesn't understand geography said, "You're right. Here's this girl in Vietnam." It's not India, but the story was fucking fascinating. It's a girl in India who can light shit on fire.
What?
Yeah.
What?
How?
And like when she sleeps in bed, she scorches her mattress.
What?
It's pretty
Oh,
crazy.
you
like
say
a
she lights
chemical-
them by touching it? She lights shit on fire.
She like secrete a chemical through her skin or something.
Electrical stuff around her will combust.
Did you?
She related to Joel.
I know, right?
Did you ever see the girl who could make diamonds with her eyes?
What?
What is going on right now?
I
what
think
the fuck are
I
you
think I
talking
saw that like,
about?
on Ripley's Believe It or
Like
Not. Or
it's
something.
these kind of crystals that are produced behind this girl's eyes, and like her dad would like push down on like the bottom of her eye, and it, like big lumps of stuff would just go come out.
Whoa. Can I make a recommendation? When you get on Google, don't ever look up the words Vietnamese girl fire. Ever. Ever. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
So you recoil.
Just don't do that. Oh, my Lord.
I still don't understand
Seriously,
how this
don't
is
do that.
happening though.
I'll look up the story about the girl who was
Wasn't
sent to me.
there a kid, I don't know where, in China maybe, who had like cat eyes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We talked about him once,
Yeah.
I think, on the podcast.
That's
that
what I thought you were going to refer
debunked?
to.
No, not that I have not heard any follow up to that.
We need these guys to mate. I mean, all these one-off mutations in different areas—they're not going to help us. They're
We
going
need-
to
we
die.
need- we need-
We need them to do each
Well,
other.
you need
And-
you need two people with the same mutation to hook up.
Well, we need
Not
to get them all.
necessarily.
We need to get them all together in a helicarrier and then have them fight a Norse god.
Yeah.
And then make a movie about it. will make millions and millions
So
of dollars.
good.
I'm not going to find this. God.
You guys have talked about the Avengers already, right?
I don't think we have talked about the Avengers.
We should do a spoiler cast for the Avengers.
We should.
It's been 2 weeks.
I think everyone on the planet has seen it twice for as much money as that fucking movie's made.
Yeah.
So
What's it up to? Do you know?
I can look it up,
It's
but
like-
I've seen it twice.
It's like one.
too.
It's over $1 billion. I know that. I want to say it's like 1.3, 1.4.
I'm happy that I enjoyed it because I'd never seen most of the movies. I'd only seen Iron Man 1 and 2.
Me too.
I hadn't seen
I was in the same
Thor
boat.
Really?
or Captain America.
Avengers made almost $60 million last weekend in the US. In the
Jesus.
US, Avengers has made Marvel's The Avengers. You got to say the full title. It has made almost $500 million US, and foreign it's made $723 million. It is now up to $1.2 billion
Oh, wow.
Wow.
worldwide.
Well done.
It's a good amount of money.
Where does that put it in the overall list?
So have they made the money back?
I'm
buying-
sure
buying
they
Marvel
have.
now.
Yeah.
no, he's talking about for buying Marvel.
Oh.
Yeah, from
They paid $4 billion, didn't they?
4 bit. They have to.
Probably across all the movies and everything.
Well,
the
unless
licensing.
you think the comics division is hemorrhaging money? Is it losing money? Comics these days?
I don't know. I mean, like comics now. I mean, the actual physical comic itself probably isn't making money. It probably hasn't made money in a long time.
They still have toys in the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
and
It's all about
cartoons.
products. Yeah, I mean, you know that the ancillary stuff, and like the actual physical comic probably doesn't make any money at all. But that feeds into toys and movies and all that other stuff. That's where you make your money.
Marvel's The Avengers, assuming if they made almost $60 million last weekend, they will pass this week Star Wars for the number 5 spot domestic, then Star Wars Episode 1 after that, and then they got kind of like a $50-60 million gap to catch up to The Dark Knight.
Yeah, it
it's
probably
at-
won't catch Titanic or Avatar though.
Yeah, it's at $460 million currently,
What did Avatar finish at?
$760 million domestic.
But it's like 2.1 billion worldwide.
Is that what it did?
I want to say
Yeah.
it broke 2 billion.
It did break $2 billion. I remember
Yeah.
that.
What do you guys? What's the now? We got a little bit of time between when we saw it. What's the verdict on Avatar? Good movie? Bad movie?
I liked it. I thought
a
it was
good
fine.
movie.
I also liked Hancock, so maybe my
No,
my
I liked
opinion's
it.
not
I
valid.
liked. I saw it IMAX in 3D, and I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giovanna Ribisi is terrible.
I think
in
that movie
No,
that movie gets a lot of shit for being like so predictable and like the story's been done before. But the thing is, it's a perfectly entertaining movie, and I have no problem with it, the story being
No, I loved it.
kind of classic. I
good.
really enjoyed watching it. I saw it like 4 times.
You liked it so much, I saw you got Fern Gully.
I did.
DVD.
I did.
Really?
Fern Gully.
You know, who was surprisingly bad in that movie. I thought was Sigourney Weaver. I mean, she's not bad in anything, and she was kind of.
Yeah.
She was great when she was what are they called? The blue things?
Navi.
Navi. Yeah, she was great as that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when she was the smoking.
Everyone
scientist.
was great. Isn't it?
She's great in Galaxy Quest as well.
Oh my god.
She's awesome.
That's one of the best
Yeah,
movies.
that's great. Avatar ended up at $2.7 billion.
2.7.
Holy
Fuck.
shit.
What's Titanic at? Because Titanic's number 2, right?
2.1.
2.1. Okay.
So James Cameron has made $5 billion in movies
So-
across 2 movies.
No one has ever made a movie that made over $2 billion except for James Cameron, and he's done it twice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so God, so
Is someone gonna get a text from James Cameron right now?
yeah, really. Avengers has on the worldwide list is number 4 at 1.1 billion, and has to pass the very last Harry Potter movie, which is at 1.3.
And
So-
it'll do that.
It'll probably do that. I can imagine it making another 100 million.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, worldwide. Yeah,
I'm probably gonna see it again.
You know, Robert Downey
I
Jr.
don't
is
know.
going to make like something like $50 million for his role in Avengers.
Why is that?
Because when
Took a
he did, I
percentage,
think
didn't
his contract renegotiation between Iron Man 1 and 2, he negotiated points, basically. Like anything he stars in as Tony Stark or Iron Man, he gets a percentage of box office. Like it's a small percentage, but when it's small percentage of billions of dollars, it becomes a very large number. So he's actually going to make a lot of money
Wasn't
on
he
that.
planning not to come back for the Avengers originally?
no, I think maybe they were not going to put him in it.
Oh,
But
really?
it was the Avengers is pretty much the Robert Downey Jr. show. He's
No.
the man in that movie.
He's just awesome.
He steals the show.
He does.
Just easily.
I don't know about that. I don't know if he's the main guy. I mean, like
He's the
they
guy.
do a great job of really kind of spreading out the.
They did that very well.
I don't know if it's like he's the main guy. He just steals the show. Like he's.
I think
the
Hulk
best
steals
in-
the
I think
show.
Hulk steals the show. I mean, God, Mark Ruffalo is perfect as Bruce Banner.
He really
He looks
is.
great.
He's
Except that
really
one
good.
line.
It makes no sense.
I'm always angry.
His secret.
That's awesome.
His secret is that he's always angry.
So-
No,
Should
Should we
have you seen it?
spoil?
No, I haven't
anything
seen
right
it.
now?
It's fine.
It just fell flat. Like everyone was like,
See,
and it was like, huh?
Okay, okay. Please explain it to me, because potential spoiler here. If you haven't seen Avengers, the one person listening to the podcast who hasn't seen Avengers.
and Gus.
So Banner is always keeping in check the fact that he's the Hulk, keeping it
Yeah.
in check. and he says he has a secret, and he's about to tell it at one point in the movie, and then he can't. And then he reveals later that his secret for keeping his anger in check is, he goes, "That's the secret. I'm always angry." And then he turns into the Hulk. What the fuck does that mean?
I
have
really
no
wanted
idea.
a shot just pointing back at all the other Avengers, and they're just like, huh?
Really?
Did he just say he's always what?
So
No,
explain how that works to me.
He's like learned to temper his anger. He's learned to control his anger. Like it's something in him at all times.
He just stays level
Basically,
with anger.
basically, the Hulk is anger. It's anger manifested, right?
Sure.
And so he's got a rein on the Hulk. He's got a rein on his anger, but he's always angry.
But how does that
Okay.
keep him from turning into the Hulk?
He chooses not to. Like he does it. He like
So what he's saying is he's gained control to be able to turn into the Hulk
Yes.
or not, by staying always angry.
Yeah, like he has the ability to turn into the Hulk, but he chooses not to.
That's like the Wicked Witch of the West saying, "I never melt because I'm always wet." It's like,
Whoa.
But
oh, that was kind of hot.
That's like the adult version.
That was kind of hot. That was intentionally hot.
This is something I don't like about these movies, though, is that whenever there's a big transformation in a character or a thing, the first one is always super long and like detailed, but then whenever they transform again, it's instant.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, the first
Like when he
Transformers
punched
movie.
the...
Yeah, like
No, okay,
when
so-
they transform, it's like, and you see what happening, and then they just like jump in the air and transform.
Yeah, no, like the first Transformer movie. At one point, Bumblebee is like running as
Yeah.
his robot and like jumps, and there's a boom, and he's
Yeah,
back into
and he's
the
a car.
I thought that was the coolest fucking thing
Everyone,
ever.
I watched that with Jason over here, and everyone stood up and started cheering.
Because
Yeah.
and I'll tell you, that was my problem actually with the first Transformers movie, is that they didn't do that more often.
Yeah.
Because in the cartoon, that's what they were constantly doing.
Yeah.
They jump into the air, transform, and hit the ground,
Yeah.
rolling. In the movie, they were just like fighting, and then they would transform and then roll.
Yeah,
But it's the same in the Avengers with the Hulk. The first transformation, he's like getting angry and it's like really
Slowly
slowly
gets
getting
mad.
no,
angry.
it's because he was trying to fight it. He was trying to like stop himself from turning.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because like because
and then the second transformation is like,
the second
Yeah.
one is like, let's do
He
this.
transformed fast enough to punch something that was coming at him.
That's one of the thing about
But he implies that in his previous conversations that he does stuff where it's like he should be hurt, but instead of being hurt, he just turns into the guy. And it seems like it's an instantaneous thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even if somebody tried to hurt him as Banner, that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Because he would just turn into the Hulk
Well,
instantaneously.
that's the thing. See, to me, like he like the Hulk is always there, and like when he can change himself like that, he has control over
Okay.
it. But when something affects him that basically forces him to get angry or forces him to kind of break and lose control of his temper, that's when he's just a wild beast. Like that's why he went crazy.
Oh, that's an interesting theory. I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's why, because, like, when he was falling and, like, the guy said, like, he said, did I hurt anybody? He's like, no, you didn't hurt anybody. He's like, you look like you were controlling where you were falling. And at that point, he's kind of realizing he does have control over the Hulk. And then he's like, maybe I can.
No, you
do
blew
this.
your theory. I thought what you were saying was that when he makes the transformation, he has a little bit more control.
Yeah.
Than when it happens without him.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm saying.
I want to see a Hulk movie with that guy.
They're talking about doing it now.
Yeah.
Apparently, I mean,
Even if it does mean making it for the third time.
But-
How badass would it be to be Ruffalo and have Hulk that's modeled on you? Because it looks like Ruffalo.
He is so likable in that movie.
Yeah.
There's something
He
about
really is.
movies where likable characters I just love them.
No, I
like
read-
in
You like likable characters.
yeah, but like,
so weird.
It's a great theory.
It's shocking.
but there's no one more likable than Bishop in Aliens. He's
Yeah.
like the most likable character in any movie. You just
Man.
you love him whenever he's on
Like
the screen.
the relationship between Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, though, is probably my favorite part of Avengers. Like,
Yeah.
because it's the first time you ever see Tony Stark like treating someone as an equal, as opposed to someone who kind of walks on.
Yeah.
And even when he's like, "You should come to New York City and like check out all the toys I have," it's like he wants to do that with him. It's not like, "Hey, go there and make stuff for me." Like for the first time, it seems to me like Tony Stark has met someone that like he can be on the level with. And even at the end when they're driving off in the car together, I'm like, oh my god, I want to see that movie. I want to see
That would be
that
an
movie
amazing
between the
movie.
two of those guys. Like,
I want to
it's
see
going
the
crazy.
Avengers again.
Yeah,
I
me
wanna see
too.
it.
I want to go right now.
So,
You know what's disappointing is I'm a lifelong Iron Man fan, and there's a really disappointing thing that happened in the Avengers, and that was when Tony Stark changes to a new suit of armor.
Yeah.
In the comic, that's an enormous deal. They like if Tony Stark is going to build a new suit of armor, it's like previewed for like 10 issues, which is like half a fucking year, and then he gets the new suit of armor, and it's like a completely new design. It's badass, and they kind of did that in Iron Man 1 to 2 when he had the suitcase armor, which was silver.
Yeah.
And they had that. But in the middle of Avengers, he changes suits. And it's like it's the exact same fucking suit.
Yeah.
And it looks the exact same.
It's got a circle instead of a triangle.
Well, and the thing that reminds me of it is that when he goes off, we said with Banner there is that in the comics, the variations of the armor that Iron Man wears are huge. Like there's an all black one that's a stealth suit, And then there's like it's a big difference between Iron Man and War Machine essentially.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot like that, and there's a Hulk Buster suit for when he fights the Hulk, and it looks like a tank.
Yeah, it's huge, right?
Yeah, it's like this huge suit of armor. that
Speaking
Iron
of
Man
War
wears.
Machine, where the hell is War Machine?
Well, I think they were kind of setting up that they could, if Iron Man 2 had done better, they might have been able to like try to put War Machine in instead of Tony Stark if Robert Downey Jr. was too expensive.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the Avengers with Don Cheadle as War Machine instead of Iron Man?
That would suck.
That would have nothing against Don Cheadle, who's awesome, but that would not have been the same movie.
Yeah.
So they made the right move, keeping everybody.
Tony Stark on the deck of the helicarrier, looking around and like covering his eyes. Like, how does he even see these over here? like that guy's playing Galaga. Like, that's so great. It's like small little stuff. I mean, it was Joss Whedon now, like that guy. I mean, like it was kind of one of those things you first heard, like Joss Whedon's doing the Avengers, but then if you think about it, Joss Whedon has done like tons of these sort of ensemble casts, like Buffy and Firefly. Like he's done these shows where it's a whole bunch of different people, like different real strong characters, all eventually fighting towards one thing. And it's like, oh, that makes total sense why he'd be doing Avengers, and he knocked it out of the park.
It clearly worked. I still would have given the job to Jon Favreau at that point because those were the best Avengers movies. Were both the Iron Man movies.
It's true.
Yeah, Captain America was pretty good though. I went back and watched Captain America. It was really, really pretty good.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk is not bad. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, but Thor was really good. I thought.
I was trying to figure out.
Everyone says Thor was the worst one.
Really?
Yeah.
No, the Hulk was definitely.
Everyone I talked to said I haven't seen any of them. Everyone I talked to says Thor is really good and Captain America is not that great.
I was trying to figure out where I'd seen the guy that plays Thor, and I couldn't think of any movie. But he was in Snow White.
He was
So
also
I saw
in
him on set. and I
Cabin
thought-
in the Woods.
Oh, was he?
They may
Yeah, he's
say
in Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
He's got a really interesting part. The guy who plays Thor is Captain Kirk's dad in the new Star Trek series.
Yes.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
The very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the beginning, he crashes the ship into the
Yeah,
big
yeah.
one. Yeah, he's that.
So versatile.
I didn't know that.
That's pretty sweet to be Captain Kirk's dad.
Chris Pine. He was something else though too. Big wasn't
Did
he?
any of you see Cabin in the Woods?
Yes.
No.
I saw it.
I didn't like it that much.
Really?
I'm mixing up Chris Pine and Chris Hemsworth.
Bernie saw Cabin in the Woods back in
So that wasn't
December.
the guy.
I did. And we weren't allowed to talk about it.
It was really
the
cool.
one movie we weren't allowed to tweet about or.
I thought
talk.
it was good, but it didn't have an emotional impact to me. Like it was kind of like, oh, that's kind of funny idea, and then I was like, oh, that's it. All right.
I just like movies that are so original and concepts like that. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. There were parts of it kind of cool. It reminded me a lot of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like the
Yeah,
TV show, not the
that
movie.
kind of style.
But which it was written by Joss Whedon, so it makes sense.
There you go.
What were you saying, Burns?
I was going to say the Captain Kirk's dad's name is George Kirk. So I've forgotten that.
Kirk.
Kirk, you think there was somewhere along the line that they...
I hope so.
They
I
had a
love
Kirk.
people who have first names as last names, and then somehow they have a first name that's the same as their last name.
Luigi Mario.
I think that he.
I know
think
someone named Asaf.
Do you?
Yep.
I know we know a.
I know a few
At
rich
Penny
dicks.
Arcade, we know her name is Sad Sad. That's her last name.
What?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Erica.
Erica Sad Sad.
Well, she married. I can't remember his name.
Glad?
Mr. Sad Sad. She married Mr. Sad Sad.
Happy.
So I also saw that Jamie had a taco eating contest up in
They made
Seattle.
you a
And there's a
trophy.
huge trophy that they made.
awesome.
And so the trophy stays there, though, right?
It does.
Doesn't
That's
travel.
where it should stay. No.
Will
It should be like- it should be like the Stanley Cup.
Will the names of past champions appear in it? Like if you ever get
They should,
passed,
right?
will
Yeah.
your name stay on there with your record, and then the new name
No.
gets put? No.
No.
I feel like you
then
gotta
that's
have
what should
that.
happen.
You
It
gotta
should be
have that
like-
history.
It should be
know.
2012 Bernie Burns.
I don't think tacos should have a memory. I think you have to live in the moment.
Tacos live in the moment.
Your
That's it.
record stands safe. Nobody beat you.
It does. Yeah.
I think you're safe for a while with that one.
That was hard. God, 15. I saw the trophy. Like the people sent me pictures of it on
Please
Twitter.
throw up again.
They sent me pictures of the trophy, and I immediately got a stomach ache when I saw it.
So you think you're like the Cal Ripken of taco eating? Like no one's gonna pass your record.
Easily. Somebody can beat it in one night. It
What
can
I want to
happen
know
at any
is
point in
like
time.
where it all went.
All the taco?
Yeah.
Didn't you throw it up?
I know where it landed,
Not all
but
of
like
it.
where was it stored in the middle?
In my stomach. Do you not
Yeah,
know
how big is it?
How does the human body work?
I thought a stomach was kind of small. Like you
It
can't.
expands.
I was like,
You expand.
Have you seen like eating?
So do you?
yeah, it is pretty amazing when you watch one of those eating contests and
Oh,
they eat
yeah.
like a 15-foot sushi roll. It's like, where does that go?
Or like
Yeah.
100 hot dogs or something crazy like that.
That's
Where do you
insane.
put it?
I'm really hungry now.
I know.
God, this is so embarrassing where people got their starts, especially Australian stars. Chris Hemsworth, the guy who plays Thor, he was born in Australia, and he was in the Australian version of Dancing with the Stars.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
I think Hugh Jackman did something like that too down there. Didn't
Do you know
he?
Nicole Kidman's first movie she ever made?
BMX?
no,
Or
it's the,
BMX Bandits?
BMX Bandits.
Oh,
That is
really?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
What? I thought it was Dead Calm. Was that
No.
a big?
She was like 14 or
Dude,
15 in
BMX Bandits, like they're on bikes and like they're taking jumps. It's like,
When you're a kid, it's like the sweetest movie
Yeah.
ever. Maybe when you go down to Australia next month, you'll be invited to do Australian Dances with the Stars.
Please, good lord, no!
Don't
I would
touch
never
any
want to be at a
koalas.
dancing show. They did an internet stars dancing show.
Did they?
Really?
C. Nanners was on it, and so was Harto. Hannah Hart. Yeah, it's something they did. I don't know what channel it was on, but I saw it. And they were like,
It sounds like a Nerdist thing or something like that.
maybe it was. I don't know, but yeah, I would stay as far away from that as I could possibly. Absolutely. So we went to go see Mad Men. Barb and I saw Mad Men at the Alamo the other night.
Yes.
And they played Bye Bye Birdie, which was Anne Margaret singing for the intro of Bye Bye Birdie, the old movie. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy. I'm starting to realize now that we're like starting now to repeat famous stars. Like Anne Margaret looked just like Nicole Kidman does now.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, and you know, Nicole Kidman looks like a young Anne Margaret. And we were noticing the other day how much Brad Pitt basically looks like Robert Redford.
Yeah, that one's uncanny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll pull this up. You guys look like you're pulling a piece of paper. I'm going to pull up this Bye Bye Birdie thing. You'll
Well,
see.
even like
She
Josh
looks like
Brolin
Kidman.
and Tommy Lee Jones. Like Josh Brolin nails Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, that's you know,
Yeah, I've only seen the trailer for
Nice.
Men in Black.
I
I haven't
but-
seen
Yeah.
that scene.
That was unintentionally hot. as
My
well.
brain went right
What?
to that area.
what?
Josh Brolin nailing Tommy Lee
Oh,
Jones.
there you go. I was completely out of that.
Welcome to the
You
conversation.
fucking pervert.
Monkey
know.
face.
Let me tell you something. As a fellow Texan, nobody's doing anything to Tommy Lee Jones. That's not going to happen. It will fucking break your spine.
So you and Gavin are going to be in Australia.
We're going to be in Australia.
Yes. So we should probably mention the fan event that's going on in Australia, RTOZ.
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 It's timed to coincide with your trip down under.
Yes.
You
So there's
can have
another-
you can have a shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah.
So there are
And pet a
still
koala. You should hug
tickets
a koala,
available.
Gavin.
Get some
They're real
chlamydia.
friendly.
Yeah.
No,
There you go.
they're fine. Don't just lick them.
I think the RTOZ event is June 16th in Sydney.
I think it's 17th.
17th?
16th or 17th.
I think it's the 16th.
Oh, gotcha.
And we'll link to the
No, it's 2 days. It's 2 days.
we'll link to the group and all the info and
That was just really funny. Gus reading off a sheet. It's the 16th, and Barbara's like, I think it's the 17th.
I didn't see it on the sheet.
It's literally on a sheet of paper.
This is a big piece of paper.
We'll see.
What,
It's got all
it's
the
a
relevant
normal sheet of
information.
paper.
Writing small.
Do you use A4 in Canada or do you use 8.5 by 11?
8.5 by 11.
You use
What's that mean?
A4.
8.5. Oh, is that inches?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Use A4 in the UK.
See, that'd be fine, because that looks like A4. And it looks like I should be able to
Yeah,
say
we
A4.
should-
That's a different size to A4.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
As a company, we should not use letter size anymore. We should switch in the United States. We should switch to A4 just
Why?
to fuck with people.
No.
Like, it doesn't fit in the envelopes right. Everything's just a little off. Like at a quick glance, everything looks fine. Then it's like, no, wait,
So-
it's a little different.
Gus wants revenge after the quote prank, I think.
The good thing is that you fold paper in half and it becomes A5. Then you fold it as A6. So every half is a different...
That's
it's easy-
stupid. No, that's stupid. There's
Why
no-
is that stupid?
Why would I never use folded in half paper.
Gavin, you remind me so much of when I went to college, and everybody who, like, you know, it's the first time you go to a place where people come from all over, and they grew up in like Dallas, or they grew up in Pennsylvania or something like that. And there's always people you meet who, it doesn't matter what they run into, it's always better the way they know it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, that's it. They're not, that's like, the way that you know it, it's like, that's the way it's supposed to be. And like, you can't see it any other way. It's like,
People are
you have no
so
explanation for it. It's
stubborn
just, it's better. Yeah.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
like-
so stubborn.
It's more convenient.
I've noticed
because
that
there's
most of you
dimensions.
two,
What?
Jack and Gavin, are so stubborn about the way they pronounce things. Like on yesterday's AU with the word call.
The word cool and cool.
I was so disappointed that you did not get slapped on Awu. Like when I saw Jack.
Were you actually though?
When I saw Jack editing, I was like, "Who slapped Barbara?" He's like, "Oh, we didn't slap Barbara." I was like, "Why
No.
the fuck did you not slap Barbara?"
That would
No, don't
been
slap
bad.
Oh, you should have called me. I'll slap her.
That's terrible.
Oh, that is kind of uncanny.
I'm showing him Anne Margaret.
What does
singing
it say?
Bye Bye Birdie.
It looks like Nicole Kidman. That's
Oh wow,
we're getting
that's
at.
trippy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we're just repeating stars. You know,
When a wife and a husband...
Go on.
When they
When
they
the-
love each other.
When the priest is doing something to them in the church, what are they doing there?
Getting married?
Yeah. Right?
What? Yeah.
So
okay.
marry, right?
Yes.
What word would you put before Christmas if everyone was having a good time?
Marry.
Say them both together.
Married and Mary?
No,
those are
say marry and Mary.
Mary and Mary.
They sound pretty similar to me.
What are you saying?
They are similar words. They're one letter
He was
apart.
he was having a
You were saying
He was making
call and cool.
he was making fun of the fact that when I pick, someone can call me on the phone. Cool. And something can be cool.
Yeah, they sound very
sound
similar.
similar. the way
But
you
so
say
does
that.
that. There's words in American where it sounds
yeah,
ridiculous.
but
those are intentionally
Mary and
close
Mary
together.
are one word apart. Call and cool are not.
Yeah.
You want to embarrass Gavin point out how he puts R's and everything because I don't think he
Yeah.
likes the fact that he does.
He was
See,
in
but this is
R
exactly
of
what I'm
something
getting at.
earlier.
In
Like
or.
people just
or.
rag on each other for pronouncing words differently. That's how you were raised. That's the country you lived in. I don't know why everyone's making such a fucking big deal
no,
about it.
it's because he was raised wrong.
Says the Canadian.
It just pisses me off. It's like, you're saying that wrong. It's like, no, I'm not.
You're just sick of us talking about a boot.
Just forget about it.
All right. Well,
I don't say a boot.
We need to wrap up. I think you guys need to head to the airport here pretty soon.
Yes,
So
Yeah, you headed to the airport hours ago.
eat some salt lick at the airport for me.
we will.
Oh yeah, get a milkshake.
that
at
what you're
Amy's.
going for
Get
lunch?
a hot fudge milkshake at
I need a
Amy's.
milkshake now.
Oh my god,
I need a
so
milkshake
good.
so bad.
I'm going to get slapped by Will Smith.
I need a
tonight.
pickle.
Do it. Give him a kiss on the mouth.
Don't. I would recommend you not do that. That's a big man.
Let's go. Hey, Fresh Prince, and try to kiss him on the mouth.
Did you ever
and
see
what
him in
happens.
Ali?
You're getting fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Dude got fucking huge, dude. How do they do that?
Steroids?
It's their job, right?
No.
I mean, they
Yeah,
probably-
that's all they're doing.
No, it's okay. Let's. We don't know that, but let's assume maybe that happened. Do you have a problem if, like,
No,
Sylvester
I don't.
Stallone for Rocky movie takes steroids?
I do not.
Or you don't have any problem with that?
Nope.
Is it legal?
What, taking steroids?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
If
I
it's
don't-
legal,
In
then
certain
fine.
in certain situations, yes, I think
Do
it's
it then.
legal.
Okay.
But
Well, you can be prescribed steroids if
Yeah.
you have like some kind of problem. They give like nasal allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They give you steroids.
no, I have issues with steroids used for like professional athletes.
Yeah, because it's going to
like,
be used competitively, or
Yeah.
for, like in the Olympics, like for world records.
Yeah.
Like professional games, I don't care about like NFL and stuff like that. But if it's for like the Olympics, like when you're setting the bar for humanity and human performance across the world, that's where I kind of draw
Well, even
the line.
even professional sports, even like NFL and stuff like that. Like, no, that's not good. If you're being paid to be an athlete, like you shouldn't cheat. Basically.
I want to see
fine with that.
a different set of Olympics where everyone's just roided up.
Steroid Olympics.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a skit on
that was
Saturday Night
an
Live?
SNL thing.
Oh, was
yeah,
it?
guy ripped his arms off.
Okay, well, we're going to wrap up
The
now.
legal status of anabolic steroids varies from country to country. Some have stricter controls on their use or prescription than others, though in many countries they are not illegal. In the U.S., anabolic steroids are currently listed as a Schedule III controlled substance under the Controlled Substances Act. Just tell us if it's illegal. I don't know what that fucking means.
So Schedule 3 is like
Oh,
marijuana then, right?
I think
don't know.
so.
Like there's
It gets
we
weaker
talked
the
about
higher,
this
I
the
think.
one time where it's like the higher it is, the more the
weaker
higher
it
the
is.
number, the more outlawed it is, or the more trouble you get in.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
Okay,
Get
so
back to
it means here's what it means. It means that unlawful distribution or possession with intent to distribute anabolic steroids punishable as a first offense by up to 10 years. In Canada, it's a class 4, which means there's such a great Canadian law, meaning that it's illegal to obtain or sell them without a prescription. However, possession is not punishable.
Do you want to know?
it's like
There are
it's
some-
illegal. Stop it.
There are some weird Canadian laws. One of which, you know how when you see a commercial for a drug on TV, like
Yes.
something for depression or whatever. In Canada, you could say the name of the drug, you cannot say what it does, or you could say what it does, but not the name of the drug.
We had a similar law in the
Yeah.
U.S.
All right.
So weird.
I have to run, so I'm going to leave now.
Get out.
All right.
Goodbye.
Well, that's it. Bye.
So they could say like, if this is, you know, if you have high blood pressure, talk to your doctor about a purple pill.
Or
But they
just
couldn't say
like
the name of the
ask
pill.
your doctor about like something for this. They're so vague about
So
it.
stupid.
And there's also another law where you cannot have a clear soda that is caffeinated. So there's no caffeinated Mountain Dew, no caffeinated Sprite, or anything like that.
There's no caffeinated Mountain Dew.
Nope.
Do you have you have caffeine-free Mountain Dew?
Yeah, we just cannot have soda that is like clear colored, quote unquote.
Do you really
that
have
has-
caffeine-free Mountain Dew in Canada?
Apparently,
That's bizarre.
It's a
What
lot.
would that
Mountain Dew,
be?
nothing.
How do you do the dew?
What would that be?
Oh,
That'd just be like really shitty tasting water.
Mountain don't.
We've got to the point. We've got to the point where
That should not make me laugh. It's not make me laugh.
we've got to the point where like health and safety and all this crap is now at the point where everyone is so scared of being sued that they've got to pepper all this stuff on everything to the point where it's ridiculous.
They should be scared of being sued because people fucking sue everybody.
Yeah, but do you think they'll ever die down again?
No. See, you know, like there's a class action
It's kind of
lawsuit.
gone like way too much, and it should just it should be everyone should chill out again.
Right now, there's a class action lawsuit against Facebook, $15 billion, okay, for Facebook tracking you, what you do on the internet after you log out, which is fucking terrible.
That's weird.
Facebook should not do that. That is,
How does it do that?
I don't know,
Like-
some technology. I really don't know.
Magic.
I don't know. Who the fuck knows? You don't know what your browser does now. Browsers used to just, you go to page and you read it. And that was it. Now it's fucking cookies and they write shit to profiles. And
That's why you should enter that private browsing mode in Chrome.
It's the same as that surveillance problem. I don't care. I'm not doing anything illegal, so I don't care.
But listen, the point is that there's a $15 billion class action lawsuit against him. Class action lawsuits are one of the weirdest things because we have to have them, right? That if somebody does something massively wrong, there should be allowed a class action lawsuit where everyone gets a settlement. The problem is that they're so abused in that the $15 billion that they win it, the law firm will get like $6 to $7 billion of the class action lawsuit. And then everyone else will get like $4.
A quarter.
That's affected.
Yeah.
And I guess who the hell ever fills out those forms to get their money?
I got one in the mail yesterday. I fucking threw it away.
Oh, so like the people get the money.
Yeah, if you were a user of Facebook, they'll notify you and say you had a Facebook profile. They have to do it as part of the class action lawsuit. They have to try to investigate and contact all the people who have been affected by this thing if they win. And then they say you're part of the settlement, and if you turn it in, you'll probably get an estimated settlement of you'll get like $25. But the lawyers get $6 billion, of which I guess they have to take out costs for the research and getting hold of people.
Employees.
But it's
still like $6 billion is a lot of fucking money.
But why? It begs the question, why should this law firm get this enormous amount of money for this problem that everybody had, right? But then what's the other solution? Then you get rid of a class action lawsuit and then you don't have that protection.
Yeah.
But it's like one of these weird, dumb things.
Who's that protecting? What happens? They just lost $15 billion.
Well, you have to protect, here's another great example. Allegedly, the Bayer Corporation, the people who make aspirin, they made these 2 pesticides that killed all the fucking bees in North America and the UK.
Right. When people were confused as to why bees were disappearing. Oh, it's because they made a fucking poison that kills bees.
Yeah.
Oh.
A pesticide.
Yeah,
It's not a side effect of the pesticide.
it's not a climate change thing.
It's not a side effect. Bees are pests. I mean, it's like they're
they were trying to kill bees.
No, but they were trying to. It's a general, broad spectrum pesticide.
So why didn't it wipe out anything else?
It did, but it also had to kill all the fucking
Yeah,
bees.
people notice bees not being there.
Oh, so we're fine about the bees then. We can get them back.
Yeah, they
it's not some global thing that's killing
bees.
bees.
Yeah, they'll just stop
Bee
using the
litigation.
pesticide, and the bees will
Hopefully.
return. Yeah?
There'll be super bees. I mean, it'll be like...
Your eyes just got so big when you said.
Okay, for real. Wrap this up. We're going live.
Peak bees.
All right. Peak bees.
There'll be B+. That was for Barbara.
Christ.
All right, thanks.